We all went with Sakari, and we went against the head-to-head there because Haddad Maia actually had a very, very good record, but it was won comfortably by Haddad Maia.
Yeah, I've decided I'm not saying who's winning anymore. I'm just going to watch the match.
Well, speaking of watching the match and getting into things, talking about the atmosphere, Cash and Tracy now have all the momentum because they've just broken in the third set. The fans are going nuts on the grandstand. It is now 3-2 to Cash and Tracy in this second round match as they try to make the third round here in New York. They're decked out in, I think we can say pink tops, the black shorts.
Pink and black. It's really nice and classy. And
JJ Tracy, we're just catching a glimpse of the replay. Went with the inside-out forehand down the line. It just gave the Italians no chance. And the more demonstrative of the two has been Robert Cash. Yeah, his arms are outstretched, time the fans to get involved. They're almost home, not quite yet. The thing is so competitive.
It's
He's doubles now.
It's absolutely adorable watching those two, Cash and Tracy, and they're pumping the crowd up and they're so into it. It's so different from my time when I was growing up years and years ago. You would never kind of really pump the crowd up or whatever. It's not, now you see these YouTubes or TikToks, and you got little bitty juniors telling the crowd to pump up. It's 10 people over there, but it's adorable. They get used to it. They're excited and they're into the matches.
So do you think it's a good thing, Z, that we're seeing more of this?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Let's see if they can back up the break in this game. We'll focus on this match just for a little bit because it's a very crucial time in this match. If they do get to 4-2 in this set as they try to pull off this upset, that could be a little blow of the tennis ball there before hitting the serve. That's quite funny to see from Tracy here. Hits that serve out wide, then has a chance to finish with the forehand down the middle, and he did it again. Boy, his forehand is on fire.
Robert, sorry, them. I don't understand. They've left the middle open a couple of times now, which is, they're veteran players. How can you leave the middle open?
And the thing is, they were quite close together again.
Yeah.
Nobody took that ball out of the air when it felt like one of them was going to do it. After that backhand side, he jammed the one-hander, and then, my goodness, Vavasori unloads on his racket. In disgust, he throws it to the ground.
Yeah, Vavasori is not happy there. Had an opportunity to hit that return.
Just taking a look at that racket, making sure it's not cracked. Otherwise, a fine is on the way, no doubt about that. Then Billie misses his forehand return wide.
Yeah, they just seem to be right now. Tracy and Cash is just, they've gone up another level.
That they have. This would be a considerable upset because Billie and Vavasori won the title in Washington. So in the build-up, they won matches there. And also in Cincinnati, they made the quarterfinals before they were beaten by the team in form in Cash and Glasspool.
Vavasori winning the mix. I wonder if, normally at this time he would be doing mix and doubles together. Now you're just doing one, but he's already a champion.
Yeah, and you wonder if that maybe has affected his thinking. Is so used to maybe having a couple of events to play, just to focus on the men's doubles. If that's actually a bad
well, for
thing?
him, he probably is thinking, I just pocketed $500,000 in 2 days, not bad. So he kind of chill just a little bit.
Maybe that's why he's missing some of these shots.
I can just chill a little bit.
That's a blasted ace by Billie down the tee. They're trying to get this back. So we're going to leave it here, but Mike Cation and David McPherson are going to keep you abreast of what is happening in the doubles. But their focus is going to be that big matchup between Jannik Sinner and Alexander Bublick. As part of the night session, will Bublick pull off the upset? It would be one mammoth upset, given what Jannik Sinner has done at the slams, particularly on the hard courts. Z, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your company.
Thank you.
And thanks to everybody for listening as well. And don't go anywhere because, again, it is going to be Mike and Maka with a call of Sinner and Bublick as part of the night session. Stay with us on US Open Radio, presented by American Express.
Althea Gibson is a part of us. She didn't just change the game. the game possible.
Althea was my very first hero, and I was about 12 or 13 when I got to see her play at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. She's the one that told me, you can see it, you can do it. She was telling me, she told me about her action, because she was #1 in the world. She's just so great. And of course, then I'm a history buff, so I knew all about her. And a lot of people don't know, but she was the first person of color ever to play on the LPGA as well. I had the privilege of knowing her the rest of her life after I met her. And then I used to sleep with her book. I always wanted to be somebody. She wrote that in 1958. And she was a great person, great champion. Also went through a lot being the first. I always appreciated her, but I stayed in touch with her and knew her. I don't think Althea Gibson is appreciated enough. And the reason for that is they keep forgetting that without Althea, there wouldn't have been our garage. Because the great thing about tennis is we have men and women in our sport. I really think people should think about what Althea did for us in 1950 by being the first black ever to play, in the U.S. Nationals, which is now the U.S. Open. And she also was the first black ever to win a major, the French in 1956. And also the Queen gave her the plate at Wimbledon, which doesn't happen very often. What she did for so many of us, and such a shero to me, a hero. I think I'm really one of the lucky ones because I actually knew her. She's in my life, till she died.
Get ready for the next Go Down in History. This is US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Are you ready for the next chapter of Spectacular?
Sensing the moment, approaches the baseline, answers with a backhand missing, cross court. We're going for third set tiebreak, and the crowd is on their feet inside Ash.
The next epic match destined to leave you breathless.
Oh, no, he didn't! What did he just do? It's an 8, and the dream has become a reality.
The next champion.
He winds up flat on his back, he's turned over, he's sobbing, and he is the US Open champion.
Live from the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in New York. This is US Open Radio, presented by American Express.
And a pleasant good evening. Welcome inside the US Open Radio, presented by American Express booth. It's Mike Cation, David McPherson, as we get you ready for Jannik Sinner and Alexander Bublick meeting for the third time this year on the third different surface of the year as well. Macca, great to be with you here tonight. We're also going to have Nick McCarville joining us courtside as well. We'll have Gil Gross over at Grandstand coming up to cover some incredible doubles action right now. In fact, the 7 seeds Bolelli and Vavasori on the ropes to a pair of Ohio State Buckeyes, Cash and Tracy, over on Grandstand. But obviously the focus here tonight, Macca, is going to be on Sinner and Bublick. And listen, Jannik Sinner showed, indeed, he's still human. He lost a set. And it's one of those things where he has been playing at such an incredible level through this year. When he loses a set to somebody who's not Carlos Alcaraz, we have to make note of it. But this is somebody in Alexander Bublick who has the capability, and we've seen it already this year. He can give Jannik Sinner some trouble with his unpredictability and that lack of rhythm.
Mike, you're so right. Great players don't like unpredictable.
Yep.
They would rather have a tough, solid, nuggety player that they can just, that there's a certain level that they can play to. With Alexander Bublick, having beaten Jannik Sinner twice, 2 out of 3 times. I mean, the last time in Halle, playing a spectacular match on grass. Those weapons that you don't see from other players are very unsettling to the great players, and I know that Jannik Sinner will be on red alert tonight.
Yeah, that set that he lost was to Denis Shapovalov, another guy whose top level is ridiculously high. And we've always known with Alexander Bublick, that's the same thing. The top level is incredibly high. Late last year, early this year, we saw that low level when he dropped all the way down to 80 in the world. You could always see that the interest was not there. He's turned things around incredibly well. I talked about it the other night while you and Gil were calling it. He played the Torino Challenger right before the French Open, and it just something clicked for him and allowed him to be the best version of himself. And he's been able to maintain that level over the last several months.
He has a unique skill set, and he knows just how to manage that. He has an enormous first serve. He's willing to go for big second serves if he's feeling the tension at all. His backhand is pure. He takes it down the line brilliantly, and the backhand down the line is a shot that ends points. It comes out of nowhere. It's very hard to defend, and I know Coach Darren Cahill is very, very mindful of that shot. So it'll be a real chess match tonight, speed chess if you like, because you only have a fraction of a second to make decisions when two fellas are hitting the ball at this pace. But it'll be a really clever tactical match, I'm sure.
Let's talk to you about the tactical aspect, as we've got about 2 minutes until our pre-match interviews here tonight for these two players. One of the big components is that drop shot, right? It's part of the unpredictable nature of Alexander Bublick. What does Jannik Sinner want to do today to combat that? Because it is something that he will have to be and surely is aware of going into tonight's match.
Definitely aware, and saw how effective it was against Tommy Paul. Now, Tommy was perhaps a little below 100% with his movement, with how he was feeling. Jannik Sinner, I think, is at 100%. I think tactically he's going to make sure that after he hits the return, his body weight is pressing forward. Sasha Bublick's so good at doing the +1 drop shot. Jannik will not get beaten by that tonight, I don't think. He'll be looking, he'd rather half volley a ball from the baseline than get beaten by a drop shot. So look for that tonight, Mike. I think that the drop shot battle, if you like, who wins that in the trenches, will have a large impact on the whole match.
It's such an interesting component as well, because we're talking about it like Bublick is going to dictate everything here tonight. That's obviously not the case. What is Jannik Sinner going to do to make Alexander Bublick feel uncomfortable?
Well, on Jannik Sinner's serve, obviously he's got a fantastic serve. He'll do serve +1, and when you hit the ball with power and penetration into the corners, there's not much opportunity to drop shot. So that's where I think the danger is hitting the ball firmly to the backhand side, and if Sasha gets hot with the backhand down the line, that could be the only way he'll probably break Jannik Sinner. But when Bublick's serving, that's where he can dictate play. He's got a whopping big serve. Sinner's an amazing returner, but he'll have to be very watchful of that first ball drop shot to not get beaten by that short.
Well, let's hear from our two combatants here tonight. First, Alexander Bublick.
You're the only player in either draw who has not been broken yet. What's been your mindset from the service line here in New York?
Not to get broken the first game, I guess. That would be the nice one.
Good start. Now, you've had success against Jannik Sinner recently. What makes him such a difficult opponent to face?
Well, I guess everything. I mean, he's like a AI-generated player, but we will try to find a way to get to him, to get closer to beating him, and I was lucky once, so let's see how it goes today.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
So Alexander Bublick, a little bit of a comedian as always. And
Here
now
comes
let's hear
the
from Jannik Sinner.
#1 overall player in the world, Jannik Sinner. Jannik, as you get ready for this round of 16 match, what's pleased you most about your play here in New York so far?
Honestly, I think every match is different. Obviously, finding myself in the second week, it's always a very good sign. Well, it has been some great matches until now, so hopefully I keep going.
You're familiar with Sasha's game. He's a big server. Just what makes him a tough matchup here tonight? Yeah, very tough. Last encounter I lost, so even more respect to him. So obviously I will try to find a solution today, but hopefully it's going to be a good match. That's all we hope for, and I'm looking forward to it. Best of luck, Jannik. Thank you. Sure. Thank you.
All right, time for the two players to get introduced onto Arthur Ashe Stadium. beat Bublick first, and then Jannik Sinner.
New York, here we go. Please welcome the players for tonight's round of 16 match. Now 11-0 since Wimbledon. From Kazakhstan, Alexander Bublick.
Making the world #1 wait a little bit there.
Defending U.S. Open champion and world #1, Jannik Sinner.
All right, so Jannik Sinner does make his way out there, as you heard from those pre-match interviews. We hadn't gotten to it yet. It is 11 straight wins for Alexander Bublick here as well, winning a couple of clay court titles, taking time off, missing those two Masters Series events in Canada and then in Cincinnati. Sinner, of course, missing Canada, did come back, make the final of Cincinnati, had the health issue on those hot days in Cincinnati. So a little bit different in terms of their preparation, but I really liked the way that Bublick approached it. The idea that he said, listen, I just need that space. I need to restart my season, and he's done it very, very well here in New York.
An 11-match winning streak, that's very impressive. That's so hard to do at tour level, and normally those kind of streaks are reserved for top 5 players. He just has that unique skill set, Mike. He can hit the winners, the drop shots, big serving on first and second. He's a very hard man to control, especially when he has the balls in his hand.
Yeah, so it is time for our coin toss right now. Jannik Sinner finally making his way over there for this coin toss. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is the Abilities Tennis Association of North Carolina with players with special abilities doing the coin toss here today.
The systems make all the calls, including foot faults, and you have a video review available. All the rest is as in previous rounds. Would you have any questions? Questions? No? Alex, would you like to call it, please? Heads or tails? Tails is called. Tails is called. Okay?
Call it heads or tails?
No, he called already. Great
Coin
job.
toss is up.
So it's heads. I receive.
Jannik Sinner choosing to receive.
And then only the two of you, please.
So they will have photos. That is a very happy young fan that gets to have that moment with those two players and wishes them good luck. And now they will head out and begin this warm-up. Listen, yeah, as we mentioned, this is third meeting of the year for these two, 7th meeting overall for these two. Sinner does lead the overall head-to-head 4-2. But this year, of course, that Roland Garros match that was a little bit of a flat one due to the fact that you saw so much from Alexander Bublick, especially in that win over Jack Draper before meeting Sinner, and was completely out of steam. It also played in Turin the week before, missed out on some opportunities there. In Halle, though, it was a completely different story. I actually went back this morning and watched the majority of that match, and just the willingness from Bublick to take risk and understand that risk-reward ratio was electrifying to watch, because he was at the top of his game in those moments, and it's a little bit different beast here tonight, over 3 of 5 sets. And how does he maintain that level, Macca, for 5 sets here tonight?
I think that's a great question, Mike, and the surface being a little bit different too. Jannik Sinner, he ended up winning Wimbledon. Of course, he showed he could master grass, but the Halle grass is quite slippery, to be fair. And so he was being wrong-footed, drop-shotted. Like the surface definitely played a part in Bublick's majestic performance. I think with the surer footing that Jannik will have tonight, it'll be harder to wrong-foot him, harder to drop-shot him for winners, and the best of 5, that is a great point. Yet we know Jannik Sinner can focus and keep his level up for hours and hours and hours. I mean, Bublick came through huge to beat Tommy Paul in 5 sets, so he's formidable also. But I think that the fact that it's best of 5 on hard court does favor Jannik Sinner a little bit.
I think there's a reason why the big three over the last 25 years were the big three, because in the biggest moments, right, they had that opportunity. They took advantage in the best of five. And I think we're starting to see that once again with both Jannik Sinner and also Carlos Alcaraz, right? In the biggest moments when it has to go to five, they are just that little bit better and have the more opportunity over 5 sets versus 3.
And it's always been that way. The great players in tennis normally win the vast majority of the majors, and it's not really that way in golf. Like the golf, it's even the great players, the slams are all sprinkled around. You might have 4 different winners of the majors in a golf year, but in tennis, it's once you've reached the pinnacle, those 1 or 2 players tend to dominate proceedings in the slams. There's something kind of special about that.
I completely agree with you. It's based on merit, right? Over a longer period of time in those majors. This is the defending champion, of course, in Jannik Sinner. Lost just 2 sets last year, and he's also here tonight looking for his 8th straight Grand Slam quarterfinal. Just a select handful of players have been able to do that over the last several years, and you certainly know those names of Novak and Roger and Rafa, but it takes something special to be able to avoid injury over that span of time and also just avoid having one of those bad days.
And that's where he's especially impressive, is that he just rarely puts in a bad day. He doesn't. Once in a while, Carlos Alcaraz can have an off night, as we saw here at the US Open last year. Jannik Sinner really just always shows up. His focus is just exemplary. His control of his emotions is extraordinary. Even in the most extreme of circumstances, he controls his emotions to the highest point. So he is just a marvel in every sense.
We have one more member of our broadcast team here tonight, being Nick McCarville. And Nick, you always do such a fantastic job of setting the scene for us on Arthur Ashe Stadium. I think my first question is, are you seeing Jannik Sinner's new girlfriend, Lila Hasanovic, down there?
Oh, sorry, Mike. Say it one more time for me, please.
Jannik Sinner has a new girlfriend. That has been the off-court talk over the. Yes.
Oh, tell me more, please.
She's a Danish model named Lila Hasanovic. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, but there were some fans who, if you go on Reddit, they saw the screen of his phone, and it's a new girlfriend for him.
Wow. The fans miss nothing, do they? Well, that explains why Jannik Sinner was in Denmark just shy of Wimbledon, I believe. Remember all the Danish press asking him about that at Wimbledon. I can't confirm nor deny if girlfriend is in box, but I can tell you beautiful conditions here inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. And guys, it feels like things are a little vibey in here. I think these folks know that Alexander Sasha Bublick is going to be a tough test tonight for Jannik Sinner. And man, the way that Bublick was able to come out and play the way that he did against Tommy Paul, that serve is going to be gargantuan tonight. It's going to mean a lot for the Bublick game. But I watched Jannik Sinner earlier today in practice. Darren Cahill and Simone Vagnozzi were with him, obviously, on this very court. And Mike, I can tell you he was quite relaxed as he finished. There are actually a few fans here inside Ashe as he was done. And Jannik was signing tennis balls from them and trying to hit them to the very specific spots that the fans were in, including a couple of the suites. So he is feeling primed and ready to go.
It's going to be Bublick serving from the far side. Serve out wide. You'll get a forehand, goes inside in. Sinner there with a forehand. Bublick with a forehand into the net. And that is an impressive start there for Jannik Sinner. Got the big serve +1 on the forehand side and finds some joy.
Tremendous defensive start for Jannik Sinner. He plays incredible defense. What a lateral and forward mover.
15 serve up the tee, short return. Bublick goes forehand cross. Sinner forehand right through the middle. Bublick with a backhand middle. Sinner backhand cross. Bublick tracks down a backhand middle. Sinner run around forehand inside in. Running forehand from Bublick is out wide. And listen, Alexander Bublick just a couple seconds ago said the one thing he wanted to avoid was being broken in the opener, and he's in some trouble here at Love 30.
Mike, when he heard the question, he was probably thinking, why did you ask me that? I haven't been broken all tournament. I know I winced when I heard it.
Forehand through the middle. Bublick goes forehand middle. Sinner backhand cross. Bublick goes backhand cross. Sinner backhand into the net. 15-30. Indeed, it has been a pretty impressive serving performance. 55 games for Sasha Bublick with no breaks. That is John Isner-esque.
Yeah, it's magnificent, isn't it?
I'll say. And if he has a pressure point already at 15-30, let's see if he goes with his favorite serve up the tee.
He does. Short response. Forehand from Bublick into the deuce corner for 30-all.
And I think in the early stages, even though that is a big point at 15-30, if that was deeper in the set, we may well have seen the drop shot there. His confidence in his forehand comes in and out. It's early going. He's going to try and hit his forehand as much as possible in the early going, I'm sure. But when the chips are down, go with the drop shot.
He's got forehand to forehand trade right now. Goes forehand up the line, running backhand center. Bublick goes backhand up the line. That is a weapon he loves to hit. This one is into the net, and just like that, we've got a break chance in the opener at 30-40.
Tremendous job from Jannik Sinner getting all the returns in play here in the early going, applying the pressure right from the outset.
From the center hash, serve T is into the net. Sinner was covering that T serve. Everybody knows that is the favorite serve. Second here for Bublick, into the net. Broken in his opener, just like it was foretold in the player interviews right beforehand. One of those questions you don't ask right beforehand.
Oh, if the listeners could see my face, I'm wincing, I'm grimacing. It's just sort of when someone's on a streak, it's sort of the last thing you want to sort of be reminded of is you're on a streak.
Nick, it's one of those awkward moments, isn't it? You have to talk about it, but it's tough to ask that question right before a match.
Yeah, and Bublick kind of with a wry smile as that double fault hit the net, guys. Just maybe thinking back to that question, but is what it is. And now he's going to have to try to reset here. Has not faced... Wow, I can't believe that's how we opened things here in this match.
Yeah, especially, as you said, so vibey in there, and now it just sounds so flat, like, uh-oh. Is this a rout? We will see here over the next couple of minutes. Jannik Sinner now at the far side. 1-love. Toss goes up. Sinner serve out wide looks like an ace. Might have clicked off the racket there, but pretty good. Yeah, it did count as an ace for 15-love.
What a tremendous spot. That was wide to the forehand and very short in the box. So by the time it reached Sasha Bublick's racket, it eluded his reach.
World number 1 for 64 consecutive weeks right now. Sinner waiting for some fans in the stands right by Nick McCarville, in fact, to settle. Quiet. Nick, if you could do some work for us on that. Serve out wide is a let.
Probably looking for Nick's autograph and just
I can't blame him. I want a Nick McCarville autograph.
I think it was a flash off of a camera, actually.
Okay. So another first serve coming here at 15-love. Serve T. Chip return is short. Sinner big forehand. Bublick's squash shot's going to miss long. 30-love. He is 24 years of age. As I mentioned, our defending champion. 7th appearance here. 20-5. Wins over Kopcheva, Popperin, and then Shapovalov in 4.
Strong cross-court forehand there from Jannik Sinner to the Bublick forehand. He's less solid side. Great tactics.
Serve T. Chip return good. Backhand Sinner goes cross. Bublick goes backhand cross. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner forehand is into the net. And that was one thing, if you look back to that Shapovalov match, there were a couple of things that were not quite sharp at times. One was the serve. It was not great at the beginning. And also a couple of the forehands, they were more yanked wide off of the cross-court forehand. As you just talked about, it is such a tool, such a weapon for him. That was the one thing that was a little bit off at times in that matchup.
He hits his forehand so aggressively that, you know, at times he can just miss it wide by a shade.
Serve T is an ace, his second. He does lead the ATP in their serve rating, in their return rating, and is number 2 under pressure is Jannik Sinner, which is a pretty good.
Beautiful ball toss, Mike. Once again, we saw Novak Djokovic last night with his efficient ball toss. Jannik Sinner, you'll never see him catch a ball toss, which has become an epidemic in tennis overall. So many court ball tosses, but not from Jannik Sinner, and not from Sasha Bublick either, for that matter. He has a very efficient ball toss.
Game points here at 40-15, 5 minutes into this 4th round matchup with the quarterfinal spot on the line. Serve is a double from Jannik Sinner, so he's got one as well. I was talking to another commentator, and they said the one thing they were going to watch tonight, just casually, is these first few moments, whether there were any issues with that forehand, if that is a lingering issue, if there were any issues with the serve here in the first few games in particular. 40-30 now for Jannik Sinner. Tosses up, serve is good into the body, return is into the net, and that gets us to 2-love, some consolidation
That's a smart serve right there to go for the body. You've just hit a double fault. You probably really don't want to hit a second serve again on top of that in the early going. So you take the wide miss completely out of play by aiming at the body, and the opponent wouldn't be expecting it because he doesn't use that serve very often. That's just a masterful bit of tactical play in the early piece.
Love to serve good backhand from Sinner, lands on the far sideline, and Bublick late getting out there. And this is one of these issues for Bublick over the many years, right? We've talked about the mental strength. There are some ups. There have definitely been some downs. When he goes down a break early in sets, there are times where it will run away from him in a hurry. So that is the concern in this moment after getting broken for the first time in this tournament. The world number 24 serve is a double. He's down love 30 in a hurry. He is 24 in the world. Career high was May of last year at 17. He's at 18 in the world live. He could get to 15 with a win here today. Love 30 serve into the net. Got some real bad feelings right now.
Sinner doing a great job of blocking off the tee here in the first couple of games.
Sinner backing up the line, chipped from Bublick. Sinner forehand inside out is into the net. Bublick is one of a couple of players, 3 of them total, who have won 3 or more titles this year. I'm going to see if Maka can tell me the other 2. 15-30 here. I'll give him a moment to think about it. Serve into the body, backhand Sinner. Bublick goes forehand cross. That is yanked wide. It's 2 more chances for Jannik Sinner. What do you got for me?
Well, I'm going to duck the question and say, what a bad piece of balance there. No, just kidding. I mean, you said Bublick.
2 other players.
Other than
Bublick who have won more than 3 or more.
Surely.
Serve, tee. Lob return's going to miss long.
Surely it's Carlos and Jannik, or is it a trick
not.
question? Whoa, I've been stumped. Please, pray tell.
Jannik does not. We'll let this one play out here.
30-40, another break point for Jannik Sinner.
Serve into the body, backhand Sinner's into the net. Luciano Darderi.
Very good.
You would not have gotten that, I don't think.
I was going to be stumped. That was interesting. Sinner was really looking for the tee serve there.
Yep.
And it wasn't as if Bublick hit the wide serve very active. It was more of a backhand body.
Yep.
But he had so much body weight committed to the tee that he missed the return.
Bublick gets the forehand, goes middle. Sinner forehand cross. Bublick forehand up the line. Running backhand Sinner cross. Bublick backhand is into the net. A third chance here for Jannik Sinner.
Just to get that, oh, sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I just was going to point out, Maka, one interesting point is that Bublick did not warm up on this court this evening, which I thought was intriguing. He had the time to, and we know he played the other night against Tommy Paul here, but haven't really seen a player skip that chance pre-Ash match.
Second serve good. Sinner forehand to a Bublick backhand that just clears the net. Sinner forehand in behind it does not get a volley. This is one of those interesting moments, right? Sasha Bublick not broken in his first 3 matches and has been broken twice in the first couple of games. I mean, this is why tennis is just so beautiful, right? I mean, you just have these moments where everything is going one way and boom, somebody can take it away from you just like that.
Absolutely, and but of course, you're coming up against Jannik Sinner, you're going to face more return pressure than anyone else in tennis. He's very rangy, Jannik. I have some experience with this because coaching John Isner, he was one of the opponents that, gosh, it was hard to find an ace against him at times. His reach is unbelievable, and then not only does he make the return, he thumps it back at you, so he wasn't an easy guy to serve volley against either.
Listen, Nick McCarville, you've been around. You were also doing some courtside earlier today for Osaka and golf, and these 2 matchups in particular drawing so many eyes and huge celebrity list here tonight. Who's kind of the one that you've been looking at in terms of the celebrities?
Well, Anna Wintour and Rami Malek, I don't think they left their seats in the president's box. They are still, they're just in the second row behind Brian Vahaley. And actually, Anna Wintour brought Rami Malek down courtside to meet Jannik after his practice. So I mentioned how relaxed Jannik Sinner was after his practice, hitting those balls and then hanging out with Anna and Rami. How about Alec Baldwin is in the house tonight. Shonda Rhimes, she was here last night. Questlove is here. Laverne Cox, Jason Biggs. The celebrity list goes on and on. Amanda White and Michael Fewer and team working very hard on getting the glitz and the glam to the U.S. Open.
Very, very good job of it. The glitz and glam right now for Jannik Sinner with these 2 breaks. Throws the first serve into the net for a second serve upcoming. He's in the near side right now. This blue Nike kit, second serve good. Bublick into the net with a return. It is an all blue kit, top to bottom, with a sleeve on his right arm. It is a black sleeve, otherwise all blue, white socks, and we'll call them red Nike shoes here tonight. 15 love at 3 love in what has been a one-way street so far. Toss goes up, serve is good. Bublick forehand to a Sinner, backhand cross. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner run around forehand to a Bublick run around forehand cross that misses long.
One quick note on the celebrity front, guys, is I love seeing the audience reaction. And you know who always gets the biggest cheer? He's here tonight is Tony Goldwyn, the actor.
Yeah.
He always gets a massive reception. So I'll be sure to report on that if and when it should happen.
Okay, 30 love, serve out wide. It's such an interesting one because I don't know that he's one of those massive stars necessarily, but he's seems to be in everything. Second serve good. Backhand Bublick up the line. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner backhand up the line. Misses that change of direction. Now 30-15.
And it's fascinating. We haven't seen Sasha Bublick go for a drop shot yet in this first set, and I don't think we will unless it gets closer. He's going to save his drop shots for the second set. He might as well down 2 breaks here, just hit out on his forehand and save his specialty shot for when he needs it more.
Do you need me to pull up a picture of Mr. Goldwyn? Okay, you probably have seen him. I'll pull up the picture here, 30-15. That's a picture for you, Maka. You know that guy. Serve, tee, just wide. I'll get a little closer for you.
Oh, absolutely. Of course I did.
Can be one of the cheering people in Ash, Maka.
Second serve, good. Bublick backhand cross. Sinner goes backhand cross. Bublick backhand middle. Run around forehand for Sinner to a forehand middle for Bublick. Sinner inside out backhand. Bublick forehand is launched, and this is just going from bad to worse here. Another unforced error. That's number 7 for Bublick, and game points for Jannik Sinner.
Yes, and really intelligent tennis from Jannik Sinner. He's making sure that plenty of traffic is being directed to the Bublick forehand with depth and pace,
Yep.
so there's not really an opportunity to drop shot that ball, and he's being forced to exchange forehand drives with his opponent.
Game point, serve tee is long. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're at this point now where you should start throwing in all sorts of junk to see what happens and if you can disrupt a little bit. Second serve is good. Bublick forehand laced into the body. Now he has a running backhand, Sinner backhand cross. Bublick, there's the drop shot into the net. It's 4 love.
I was wrong. He did play one, but he just left it a couple inches short. It was great disguise.
Yeah.
Jannik Sinner is going to be so hyper alert to cover the drop shots tonight, but had that one cleared, that would have really tested him.
A couple sort of Bublick-esque shots there, including that drop shot, guys, and just that lightning forehand, but already some negative body language from Sasha towards his box after these first few games.
Nick, I was going to say the exact same thing. Goes big serve tee, but it is a let.
A foot fault, perhaps.
Possibly a foot fault? Was that what it was?
Both and.
Okay. So a second serve coming. Tee, big backhand return from Sinner. That was a pretty big second serve from Bublick, who's going to race through these ensuing games. I don't think there's any question in my mind here.
It was a huge second serve, but Sinner still got his racket on it, just showing that he is really going to defend that tee like his life depends on it tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see multiple first serves every point here out of Alexander Bublick. Second here, it is big. Forehand Sinner, forehand Bublick up the line to a Sinner backhand cross. Bublick backhand middle, Sinner, forehand cross, running forehand Bublick, good. Sinner backhand cross is pulled wide, it's 30 love.
Nice forehand up the line there from Sasha Bublick. Not a backhand you'd normally see Jannik Sinner miss. We just lost his balance there momentarily and pulled the cross-court backhand a couple of inches wide.
So at 30 love, serve tee, big. It's going to get a free point. I think this crowd aching to get Bublick into this match, to say the least, with his entertaining brand of tennis. And he is already at the line, ready to go. Serve clock is barely even turned on. Serve is just long.
40 love. This is a time he might chance an out wide serve. Let's see.
Second serve is a double off the net and long. That is double fault number 3. He has won in all 3 service games.
He tends to go for that wide serve on the backhand court when he's not feeling so much pressure. So when he's ahead in the scoreboard, that's when he likes to play that one.
Serving to the body, gets a free point. Alexander Bublick is on the scoreboard. But tons of damage, and I mean tons of damage, has already been done. Jannik Sinner, the world #1, 2 breaks to the good, 4-1 here on US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Mike Cation, David McPherson, Nick McCarville joining you here on Ash. Gil Gross floating around with a black and white cookie somewhere. It's Jannik Sinner. 2 breaks to the good. 4-1, serving far side. Serve T is into the net. Second serve here for Jannik, 34-4 on the season. Backhand Bublick, Sinner backhand cross. Bublick goes backhand cross well long. The 4 losses for him this year have all come in finals. Rome, Roland Garros, Halle to Bublick. That was the second round, but also then, of course, Cincinnati, that final. And Sasha Bublick, the only person outside of the top 20 to beat him in the last 2 years. Serve off the net and wide. Losses last year, he had 6 of them to Alcaraz, Rublev, Medvedev, Alcaraz, Tsitsipas. Second serve for Sinner, good. Bublick goes backhand cross. Sinner backhand cross. Bublick backhand middles into the net. 30-love.
And Jannik Sinner, of course, hits every ball with such purpose and velocity. He's not the easiest man to drop shot because normally you play the drop shot when you've got an easier ball, a little shorter, and the opponent is on the back foot expecting a big forehand or a rifled backhand. So Jannik definitely doesn't make it easy on you to drop shot him.
Serve is good. Return is not. Into the net. Getting our first look at some of these celebrities with the scoreline as it is. Alec Baldwin sitting right behind Anna Wintour and Rami Malek, who is going with the sunglasses. Both of them, Rami and Anna, both going sunglasses here tonight. It is bright inside Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Lights of New York City.
Another serve here. Game point. Out wide is an ace. Just racing through this first set. It's weird. I'm actually in the midst of rewatching 30 Rock right now. I haven't rewatched 30 Rock ever, and you know,
so good.
It's such a great.
So many New Yorkisms in that show as well.
Yeah, just a fun one to go back and rewatch right now. So 1 game away from this first set is Jannik Sinner, and Bublick is moving very quick. He gets a forehand to a Sinner, forehand up the line. Bublick running backhand to a Sinner, running backhand cross off the net and back on his side. 15-love. Definitely saw Bublick go and look to his team there with, again, one of those moments of just, yeah, I'm running into a freight train right now, and I didn't get off to a great start.
It is only 1 set, though.
Serve T. Gets a lob return short that lands good. Bublick goes backhand cross for 30-love.
And despite being up 5-1, I'd say Jannik's missed 3 or 4 regulation ground strokes that you wouldn't expect him to miss. So
yeah, he's
funny that you would say that when he's up 5-1, but he has missed a few that I didn't expect him to.
Serve up the tee, short reply, drop shot. Sinner will get there with the forehand, goes cross. Bublick there. It just barely gets the racket on. It's into the net, 30-15 now.
And that means a lot to Jannik Sinner to win the first drop shot skirmish. It was a poor drop shot. Jannik pounced on it, and he got to it easily above the height of the net. Now, Bublick is amazing at anticipating where the opponent is going to hit that next shot. He guessed cross court, but couldn't quite handle it.
This is his first serve, trying to go flat out wide. Second serve here for Bublick from the near side is good. Right into the body, gets a short forehand, goes up the line. Sinner back in to a volley. Bublick. Sinner there, lob over the back shoulder. Bublick puts it away into the ad corner for 40-15. Slowly but surely better.
Some nice net coverage there. The approach shot wasn't fabulous, but a fairly handy backhand volley, and then backpedaled for the inside-out smash. Very nice movement up there at the net.
With these game points, 40-15 serve T just misses long. Bublick is now 3 for 3 on his net points, which I think will be a number that does increase as this match progresses. Second serve for Bublick, good. Sinner back in. There's a serve and volley. Volley to a Sinner, big forehand pass. That was a fantastic return into the body. It was just popped up off of the volley from Bublick, and Sinner made him pay.
Talk about coming in on a pair of twos right there. He just walked into a howitzer of a passing shot, and he just laughs it off like, gosh, what was I thinking? Second serve bowling to Jannik Sinner's back end.
I think we just missed on our monitors an underarm serve. He's got another one. That is the double fault of 2 underarm serves.
Well, we were waiting. Game 7, guys. Here they are.
At 5-1 in the first set. You know,
a few boos here from the crowd,
really
guys.
Booing him?
A few, just a couple.
Okay.
Teases one here.
Serve out wide is wide. He does have a double fault in every service game here in the set. 1-5 deuce. Second serve Bublick. It's good. Sinner backhand middle. Volley from Bublick misses long, and have seen this from him over the years. Goes down that early break towards the back end of the set, just kind of loses the plot.
And perhaps some of the fans that aren't as familiar with his game might think that he's not trying by throwing in those underhand serves, but we all know that it's a tactic that he's employed very successfully over the years.
From Bublick. Sinner with a forehand to a Bublick backhand. Sinner goes backhand middle. Bublick drop shot. Sinner will get there with the backhand. Goes up the line, and Jannik Sinner is through this first set pretty cleanly in just 23 minutes, and includes a third break from 40 love down. And so it is Jannik Sinner, 1 set to the good, couple more to go to get him into the quarterfinals here on US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Well, the beauty of our scoring system in the sport of tennis is this is a restart moment. It has been 23 minutes of one-way traffic, but now we restart here with the second set. Mike Cation, David McPherson, Nick McCarville courtside. Jannik Sinner 6-1 in the first here. Will spectacular await for Alexander Bublick here in the second, Nick McCarville?
Well, I just want to tell you from courtside, just a full chatterbox there. Sasha Bublick looking at Artem Supernov, his coach, in his box throughout that changeover. And the conversation was obviously one-sided, but just a lot of hand gestures from Bublick, a lot of frustration there. And can he hit the reset button, guys? I think that's now the question.
Yes, it really is. It is Jannik Sinner serving with new balls in the pocket here to start this second set from the near side. Tosses up, serve is good out wide, chip returns. Sinner forehand inside out, running backhand, Bublick lands good. Sinner backhand up the line, perfect point really from start to finish, 15-love.
Yes, outstanding backhand up the line. It was a good 2 feet inside the sideline and still impossible to track down for his opponent. Beautiful footwork, weight transference, all the stuff you want in a backhand down the line.
Looking to become the first repeat winner of this title on the men's side since Roger Federer. Serve, tee, long. Serving 55% so far here today. He's the world number 1. Second serve, good. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner digs out of forehand, but it's going to miss that one long. It was interesting to note, I mentioned that he lost to Denis Shapovalov a couple days ago. He said in his post-match presser, look, I'm not a machine. I also struggle sometimes, right? We kind of expect him to just have that same perfect performance at all times, but you know, it's one of those moments where he said, yeah, I have these moments too. His down is still really darn good. 15 all here in the opener in the second. Served Sinner out wide is an ace. It is number 4 for him on the day in 30-15.
He's done so much work on his serve with his coaches. I mean, he has changed his service motion 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3 years, just showing that he's never satisfied. He's unafraid to make some tweaks to get better. It's really an incredible quality of his.
At 30-15, again from the near side to start this set. Serve out wide is long. It's a sign of all great champions, right? Continuously tinkering to make themselves that 1 percentage point better. Second serve here for Jannik. Serve is good. Backhand Bublick. Sinner digs out a forehand cross. Bublick running forehand up the line. Sinner will go backhand cross to a Bublick backhand cross. Sinner backhand through the middle, lands on the baseline. Good. Now he gets a backhand, goes cross. He was able to step into it. Continuous depth through that point, allowing him to explore that angle and gain points.
It was interesting. The first shot or two in that rally was slightly off center, not in the sweet spot, but by the 5th ball, he totally locked in, and that one just came out like a cannon.
We've been talking a lot, Mike, about Bublick, obviously, but man, Sinner is locked in.
Yep.
He just looks so smooth from the baseline.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nick. With these game points, serve is into the net. The serve is probably the one component that's lacking a little bit here tonight as he's fallen to 50%. I mean, again, if 50% is your worst, that's not the worst thing. The scoreline's doing the talking, though. Forehand here for Bublick. Now he's going to step into a backhand middle. That will miss long, and yeah, not too many signs of life right now for Alexander Bublick, as Sinner has a very comfortable hold to start this second set at 1-love. In case you missed it earlier here on the men's side, it's been pretty routine here today with our 4th round matches. Lorenzo Musetti, 3-11-1 over Munar. Felix Auger-Aliassime, 5-3-4 over Andrei Rublev. And Alex de Minaur over Leandro Rieti, 3-2-1.
Yes, and no drama in the first set here, but these are key moments here. Can Sasha Bublick establish some service dominance, get some free points, establish that first shot, drop shot, and start getting into the match? This is a big moment here, this first game of his first service game of the second.
Absolutely. Broken 3 times in the first. Serve is net and long. Second serve here for Sasha is good. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick goes forehand middle. Sinner forehand cross. Bublick forehand up the line to a Sinner backhand cross. Running backhand Bublick. Sinner run around forehand up the line. Bublick forehand through the middle. And this feels like it is an angry Jannik Sinner taking some revenge from Halle a couple of months ago.
He's playing it perfectly. He's really ripping the ball side to side and then exposing the running forehand.
Yes.
If he can play points like that, there is no way Sasha Bublick's running forehand will withstand that test.
Love 1, love 15. Serve T, chip return. Bublick drop shot. It's into the bottom of the net. And this man is looking for answers right now, and for the first time, there's actually some stress on his face.
Well, I think Jannik Sinner is doing a great job defending his favorite serves. He's not giving him as much space up the tee as Tommy Paul did the other night. And then he's a little bit quicker to cover the drop shot.
3 point off the serve there for Bublick. 2-15-30.
This is an enormous hold for Sasha Bublick. His spirits could easily be demoralized if he goes down a break in this second.
Wife Tatiana up in the player's box as well. Serve good. Sinner back into a Bublick forehand cross. Sinner running forehand cross. Bublick forehand up the line off the net and good. Sinner backhand cross. Bublick backhand slice. Sinner run around forehand inside out to a Bublick backhand cross. Sinner backhand cross will miss long. It's 30 all.
Oh my goodness, I think he hit 2 separate let chords in that point. Such big moments right there, and Jannik Sinner would be kicking himself to miss a regulation cross-court backhand there. Sasha puts up his hand to Jannik to say as if I'm sorry for that double let chord that he hit.
Love one, 30 all, near side. Bublick serve out wide, misses wide. Sinner so far has won 8 of 12 of the second serve points he's seen as a returner. Second serve is a double fault. That is the 5th double fault already for Bublick, who has won in every single service game. It's a break chance for Jannik Sinner, and Bublick is already to the line here, 30-40. Serve clock's at 21. He's ready to go. Toss goes up, serve good. Sinner forehand up the line. Bublick forehand cross. Sinner goes forehand cross. Bublick forehand middle. Sinner forehand up the line to a backhand. Bublick middle. Sinner backhand cross. Bublick backhand cross. Sinner goes backhand middle. Bublick backhand slice right through the net. And then it is Sinner in behind a forehand. He's going to get an overhead. Puts it into the ad corner. Bublick there. Volley. Sinner. Bublick somehow gets that point as the volley goes long from Jannik Sinner. Missed opportunity there for the Italian. We go to deuce.
Oh, Mike, he would be so irate at himself. He dominated the point. He got a smash just inside the service line. He should have put that away, and then the volley was routine, but I think he was just a little flustered that he didn't put the smash away, and it affected his volley technique.
Strange that he didn't attack that smash a little bit more, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking the exact same thing. There wasn't that urgency. It was a little bit off the back heel. Deuce now for Bublick. Serve good. Sinner backing up the line. Running back in. Bublick back up the line. Running forehand Sinner. Bublick drop shot into the net. High risk drop shot from 2 feet behind the baseline. It's a break chance again for Sinner.
And as good as just perfect as he was the other night with the drop shot, he's been as imperfect tonight, leaving a lot short. The ones he has made have been too deep. He hasn't found his range yet on the drop shot in this match.
So with the serve here out wide, it's an ace for Bublick. That is the first of the night. And surprisingly, it's the flat wide on the ad side.
The first time he's been able to execute it, and what a time to execute it, with Sinner just really leaning on the tee.
Deuce now, serve tee long. Second serve, Alexander Bublick, near side, serve long. It's another double. It is the 6th of the night, and you can hear the collective groan. And again, for the second time now in this game, Bublick showing that frustration towards his box right now. Also hearing it from the crowd just a little bit with this number of double faults. Throws up a serve. It's off the net and wide. Second serve, Bublick. It's another double. 3 in the game. And listen, Nick McCarville, it's a full onslaught from Sinner right there. Even his misses have been aggressive misses, and it feels like the weight of what Sinner's brought to the table is just on the shoulders right now of Alexander Bublick.
Yeah, and you know, I was looking through Sasha's transcript after they played at the French Open. We talk about that hollow win.
Yep.
But Sinner beat him in the quarters 6-1, 7-5, 6 love, and Sasha said after he's in another dimension with all aspects of his game, and Sinner showing that early, that next dimension.
Serve is into the net for Sinner, and I think that's exactly right. And listen, Jannik doesn't take losing incredibly well, right? It feels very much like he's taken that Halle loss to heart. He's got a forehand, goes cross to a Bublick forehand middle, Sinner forehand inside out, Bublick backhand middle, Sinner forehand inside in, Bublick running forehand into the net. It's 15 love. And I think that's also a sign of the great champions, right? They take what they, out of a loss, it's a learning moment for them, and you've seen it here tonight. He is just giving nothing to Bublick.
There's definitely another level of intensity to Jannik Sinner, suffering a loss, as you pointed out. He just doesn't lose to people other than Carlos Alcaraz or perhaps Novak Djokovic, so he's taken this very personally.
2 love, 15 love from the far side right now is Jannik Sinner. Serve is into the net. Continues to have some real issues with the serve percentage. Is at about 45% right now for this match. Second serve, good. Chip return lands good on the baseline. Now Bublick gets a backhand cross. Sinner backhand up the line will miss long. It's 15 all, and that's another part of it. The fact that Bublick hasn't been able to make any headway on the fact that Sinner's serve is not performing at that high level.
Yeah, to be honest, like the first serve's a little bit off. He's had a few errors like that one. He let that breakpoint smash get away.
Yep.
Like had Sasha Bublick come out and played a beautiful first half an hour of tennis, this could be a different story. But Sasha's just been way off, allowing Sinner to be slightly imperfect and still be well ahead.
15 all. Serve here for Jannik Sinner. 36-minute in. Serve is good. Lob return as Sinner backtracks. Just misses by a couple of inches in the deuce corner. 30-15 now. Yeah, this crowd, I think the tennis knowledgeable fans have certainly been waiting for Bublick to go and rise to the occasion. Haven't seen it yet. Toss goes up for Jannik. Serve is good, but it is a let.
Bublick standing medium deep. Hasn't been too far behind the baseline on second serves either. He's having a fairly aggressive position.
Serve good. It's flat and with some pace at 122 from Sinner. Draws a return error, 40-15.
Yes, definitely not his most accurate wide serve at all. He'd, in fact, be a little bit disappointed with that location. That was a very makeable backhand return for Bublick, but right now just nothing is coming easy for Sasha.
Game points here for Jannik Sinner. Serve is into the net. Was trying to go out wide with it. Second serve here for Sinner. Bublick about 6 feet behind the baseline. Second is good. Bublick goes return into the net. This has been about as dominant as it gets in terms of the score line. Points right now 41-21. All favoring Jannik Sinner on US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Well, when you're playing second on at night, you never know exactly when you're going to go on, especially after a men's match. But I have to imagine that Amanda Anisimova, Beatriz Haddad Maia are starting to think about getting warmed up, as this one is moving at a breakneck pace right now. 3-love in favor of Jannik Sinner, who gets a return through the middle. Now we'll get a running backhand cross, and Bublick can't pick up the volley. Those two coming up immediately following this one. Abigail Johnson and Sophie Amiak will be on the call for it. Bublick just smiling and laughing, and he knows he's just under the thumb right now of Jannik Sinner, and there's not a whole lot he can do. Serve netted. Second serve from Bublick, who's at the far side of the court right now. That second good. Sinner with the forehand into the net, 15-all.
Well, Jannik could be disappointed with that. He was totally expecting the tee, second serve, got it. Just put a little bit too much topspin and smothered it into the net. Yes, the crowd were obviously expecting more of a contest, and they were getting a little restless.
Serve is good, backhand up the line, running backhand Bublick. Sinner goes forehand through the middle. Bublick drop shot there. Sinner will get to it with the backhand goes cross. Lob from Bublick's going to miss. 15-30.
One thing, guys, that I love about a Sinner practice, even on a match day, is Simone Vagnozzi will feed him a lot of short balls to work on his forward movement. And, I mean, so far these drop shots from Bublick, they have been akin to those feeds from Vagnozzi.
Yes, he's really exploded out of the blocks like a sprinter in that first 40 meters. His first 15 meters that he's come from behind the baseline to cover the drop shots have been very impressive.
Is this something we should know more and better of Sinner? Is he a revenge player?
Yeah, it really does feel like that, doesn't it? I mean, this feels forceful, angry. I mean, even as we say, I'm looking at it, 8 winners to 10 unforced errors. This feels like it's personal. It's another double, so continuing this streak of Bublick having at least one double in every single service game. It's a break chance for Jannik Sinner. I know you would like to weigh in on this, but I've got to call a point because he's moving so fast right now, Macca. Serve is good. Sinner through the middle. Bublick forehand middle. Sinner goes forehand cross. Running forehand Bublick. Good. Sinner backhand cross. That's pulled wide. It's deuce.
Oh, yes, I was going to say, Mike, that he doesn't really have a kick serve, Sasha Bublick, so he's either going to go with a hard cutter or go for almost a flat second serves when he's really charged up. So when he's down on his confidence, it can get really ugly. Those double fault numbers can be high.
Serve out wide. Sinner misses the return just a little bit long. So crucial for him to get on the scoreboard here and then see if he can work his way into one return game so far. He's only won 5 return points, so it's kind of a moot point anyways at this stage. Serve T is good, and there he does get on the scoreboard, does Bublick. A little bit of a racket pump. It's 3-1 now.
And Jannik would be so annoyed at himself there. He had break point, second serve, got into the point, and then he was the one to miss a ground stroke. That would really be troubling him that he's not up 4-love right now. At 4-love double break, then you can start to relax and really go for all your shots. But he's a champion enough to shrug that off and stay in the present moment, as all champions do. 3-1.
Sinner from the near side. Toss goes up. Serve is good up the tee. Chip return is short. Yeah, I keep seeing, Nick, and you can maybe weigh in on this, but it's constant communication right now from Bublick towards his team. Not only Artem Supernov, his physio, Jeremy, his wife is there, an agent as well. It just feels like it's constant conversation, which shows that the intensity, the focus is not necessarily where it needs to be at the moment. 3-1, 15-love serve into the net. Again, drops below 50%, does Sinner on the serve percentage. Second for Jannik. That's good. Forehand from Bublick goes middle. Sinner short forehand. He puts it away cleanly into the deuce corner for 30-love.
Yeah, to me, Mike, that constant chatter from Bublick is just the nervous energy and the frustration, and you can interpret it as a lack of concentration, but I actually think it's that he wishes and wants and hopes that he was playing better out here right now.
I think that's a great point. 30-love here for Sinner from the near side. Serve is good. Bublick return into the net, and it's sometimes, just that way of decompressing a little bit, just getting some of it out and see if you can turn things around. But boy, it's hard to with Jannik Sinner putting his thumb on your neck the entire time. He's only lost 1 first serve point, 13 of 14 serve here. 40-love, good. And Bublick misses another return, 14 of 15 now. And other tennis still going on around the grounds, including what has been a fantastic day of doubles over on Grandstand. For an update over there, let's get Gil Gross involved in the broadcast. Hello, Gil.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Macca. Hello, Nick. Taylor Townsend yesterday, massive headliner match against Barbora Krejcikova, and she lost 7 match points in that one. Actually, check that. I believe 8 match points lost and saved by Barbora Krejcikova. But Taylor's tournament is not over. She is part of the #1 doubles team in the world, alongside Katerina Siniakova, who is a golden career Grand Slam champion. And right now they are taking on Camila Osorio and Yue Yuan. And I do want to just shout out Taylor post-match after what would have been really the most heartbreaking defeat of her career circumstantially. She was upbeat in her press conference, and part of that was the perspective that is offered to her by her kids. Her son, Aiden, who I believe also goes by AJ, said, "Mom, it's okay. And I just think that perspective and balance in life really helps when it comes to recovering from a loss like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think that's a healthy perspective, frankly, for all of us to have. We, especially in tennis, we get so focused on what's going on in our little bubble, we forget that there are other things that have some value to us.
Yeah, that's right. And you never wanted to get to the point where the match is too big for you, or the occasion's too big for you, and then you can't perform your best under pressure. So when you have that great life perspective of enjoying your family either way, it's easier to perform to your best.
And Gil will keep us updated on grandstand as we move back inside Ash. It is Alexander Bublick serving here 1-4, and just like that, it's love 15. Forehand miss into the net, trying to go up the line.
Nice return from Sinner. Pure, just forehand side of middle. Couldn't ask for a better spot.
15 serve is netted. He is serving at a decent enough percentage, 59% here today. Second serve for Bublick is a double. The streak
second
continues.
Serve has been the real issue, hasn't it? 59%. Yes. You can work with that as long as your second serve is going well, but I think he senses that Jannik Sinner is on his tee serve, on the second serve. He's not going to get a free point there with Sinner very often, and that's just impacting his confidence on his second serve.
15-30s, he does get a rare free point on the serve there.
Wide one there to the forehand, which he needs. He needs to spread the box, get those wide serves involved to get Sinner off the tee.
Serve good. Forehand Sinner. Bublick goes forehand cross. Sinner goes forehand right through the middle. Sinner forehand up the line. Bublick forehand up the line misses well long. It's 2 break chances here for Jannik Sinner.
Yes, Sasha Bublick's forehand, when it goes off, can be very erratic, and that one missed by a good 10 feet long.
Toss goes up for Bublick. Serve is just long. Second serve for Sasha. It's another double. This is, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is that combination of that early pressure from Sinner, just getting Bublick on the wrong foot, and then just it is like a snowball rolling downhill that's just picking up speed, picking up weight, and this is just coming to a crash landing here over the next 30 minutes, I'd say.
And Mike, this is what can happen to him because he doesn't have that high margin kick serve that most players employ on a second serve, so you can safely get it in when you need to. He goes with the hard cutter, and he's lost his range tonight.
Serve up the tee as Sinner is serving for a 2-0 lead. Just misses wide. Second serve here for Sinner at 5-1. Good. Bublick backhand to a Sinner forehand middle. Bublick forehand into the net, and it's hard to get the spirit back up when you're down 6-1, 5-1.
Yes, I mean, he has just got to try and relax. I think he's been too irritable with his box. He's better off just rolling with the punches here, having a better attitude, saying, I'll find my range here any minute now. I think he's not helping his own cause with his irritation.
5-1, 15 love. It was a let on that first serve, so another one is upcoming for the world #1. Serve into the net.
Yes, Jannik's first serve hasn't been great.
It has not.
He's missed some by big margins too, which would be a little troubling to him.
Second serve is another let, and that was, again, an issue against Shapovalov as well. A lot of the misses have been short into the net or off of the net. Again, just something to think about big picture as he potentially goes a little bit deeper, and it looks at this stage like he is going to be going deeper at least into the quarterfinals, although we still have work to be done here tonight. 2 points away from this second set is Jannik Sinner.
Just think that Bublick would serve himself so well, guys, to walk off court after the second set.
Fully agree. Fully agree.
Not sure if he will, though.
Serve out wide, just misses wide. Second serve here for Jannik Sinner. That is good to a backhand Bublick that will miss long and set points as Bublick just left shaking his head. Aren't we all?
I think what he'd like to do is go off the court and do a new pre-match interview where the interviewer asks him, you've lost your serve 5 times out here today. How are you feeling?
Sure.
And that might jinx him into starting to hold serve.
Forehand for Sinner goes off the net and wide, so he will have to try again to close out this second set to some, I don't even know what to, courtesy applause from the crowd?
Smattering.
Smattering of some respect.
But in all seriousness, they've only been on court for 50 minutes.
Right.
So if Bublick wants to engage here, he can, starting in the third set.
So point number 2 for Sinner out wide is an ace. So we will see what Alexander Bublick does to try and, I don't know if there's a word for getting a ship off of the ocean floor and get it to float again, but it has been all Jannik Sinner so far. 1-1, pair of breadsticks for the Italian here on US Open Radio, presented by American Express.
Back on U.S. Open Radio, presented by American Express. Gil Gross here inside Grandstand, where the #1 doubles team in the world is in action. Up a break midway through the opening set. Siniakova and Townsend over Osorio and Yuan, 3-2. And Taylor Townsend will be looking to, I mean, look, you're always trying to win your home slam, but she's a player who's proven to be a threatening doubles player at all the slams, and she's won Wimbledon last year. That was just after these two started playing together. Also champions at the Australian Open in January. And Townsend made the final here at the U.S. Open in 2022 alongside Katie McNally. It was actually Barbora Krejcikova and Katerina Siniakova who were, in their time, the #1 doubles team by a lot. They stopped McNally and Townsend in that 2022 U.S. Open women's doubles final. So for Townsend, who's checked a lot of boxes in doubles, she's gotten a #1. The U.S. Open still eludes her, and she'll be looking to check that off here in 2025 with Katerina Siniakova. A good dig out of a love 30 situation from Taylor Townsend in that last service game. So they now lead 4-2 in this opening set. Mike?
All right, thank you so much, Gil, from over on Grandstand. It is Alexander Bublick who comes up with a forehand up the line here and then an overhead to start this third set at 15-love. Serves here from the far side into the net. Has served, again, at a decent percentage, 59% so far here tonight. Second serve here for Bublick, good. It's in her backhand middle. Bublick, yikes. That forehand is a shank and misses by a couple of feet right through the middle, 15-all.
It's hard to believe a professional tennis player can hit didn't even find the strings on that forehand. It hit the very top of his frame, and it was one of Jannik Sinner's meeker returns, to be perfectly frank.
Serve out wide, misses wide and long for Bublick. Second serve is into the net. Continues the streak, everyone. He has not gone through a service game without a double tonight. He's got 11 total.
He's in a tough spot because he knows that he's getting beaten comprehensively in the rallies.
He's in a tough spot, you say.
But he can't find a second serve to save his life, so I'm not sure what he can do at this juncture.
I think that's an understatement there, Macca. He is indeed in a pretty tough spot. 15-30 here to start the third. Serve good, return middle. Bublick forehand to a Sinner, forehand middle. Bublick forehand inside out, running backhand from Sinner. Bublick backhand cross, lands good. Sinner backhand cross, bigger angle. Bublick tries to go backhand line, misses into the net. Two chances for Jannik Sinner.
Just on the edge here of Bublick, total unraveling, guys.
I think you're exactly right.
I mean, yes, the scoreboard, obviously, but I don't know what we're going to see on court.
Serve out wide is wide. Second serve here for Bublick. Good. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick drop shot. Good. Sinner there, forehand up the line. Curls it back. Oh my. That was beautiful. From Jannik Sinner to grab another break. It's 1-love here in the third.
And that's where that hyper awareness, great scouting report from his coaches. Jannik Sinner sensed the drop shot was coming before it was even played. And he was just a quarter second quicker than Tommy Paul was the other night to get up to the ball, pounce on it. And what a nice curl down the line from the forehand for the winner.
Nick, I feel like you and I are thinking the exact same thing about that the ATP-produced feature of Jannik Sinner teaching fans how to racket smash at Indian Wells this year. Yeah, exactly. That's all that's going through my head right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. The chatter has been continuous with the box here for Bublick, but I also then want to just bounce back to the other side of the court. Sinner is just, he's completely dialed in. Yeah. And this is week 2 of the U.S. Open. He wants this title.
Yes, he does. Serve here for him is good to a Bublick forehand middle. Sinner forehand up the middle to a Bublick running backhand. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick rolls forehand inside out to a Sinner backhand. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner run around forehand through the middle. Bublick forehand crosses into the net. It's 15-love.
One of the more protracted rallies of the night. Eventually Sinner wearing the Bublick forehand down again, but at least for the crowd's entertainment, we need a few more rallies like that. Bublick just hasn't really made enough shots to whet the crowd's appetite.
No. Yeah, this is the average rally length tonight is 3, and frankly, I thought it was shorter than that. Serve for Sinner, T, ace.
And that T ace was right on the line. You couldn't have been more precise.
Do you want to guess, Macca, how many? Don't look at your screen. How many return points has Bublick won so far? Return points.
Return points won. Oh, it wouldn't be more than 5, I wouldn't think.
8?
6.
6, okay.
It is 6.
All right.
6 return points. We're in a third set. Serve Sinner, out wide is wide. Second serve here for Jannik. Good. Bublick goes backhand middle. Sinner backhand cross. Bublick lob. Sinner waits. Big swinging forehand volley right through the middle. It's 40-love.
Jannik Sinner's second serve, I think, is perhaps a little bit under-talked about, underrated. He has great variety in his second serve. He can give you the kicker. He can give you the body jammer. He can give you the wide cutter. He practices all the spots on his second serve every practice session. So just like Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic, he really makes it hard to attack him on second serve because he can hit all the spots of the box.
Another second serve coming. That is, again, going to be the one point we make is that Jannik Sinner's serve has been a little bit rougher here today in terms of that first serve percentage. Second serve's good. Backhand up the line. Sinner almost gets that back after a near perfect return. 40-15 now.
Bublick took that second serve return really early, just throwing caution to the wind here, down 2 sets and a break. And that's a hard shot to hit. The backhand down the line return off a quality kicker. He executed that one to perfection. Probably Rice thought, well, why can I do that at 40-love down? I could use that on more important points, please.
40-15. Sinner is at the far side. We're just about to hit the 1 hour mark. Serve T, good. It's an ace. Second of the game. Total of 7 now for the day. It is 5 straight games here for Jannik Sinner. That is the second time he's rattled off 5 straight games. I also now want to flip it to the other side. So tonight, so far, Alexander Bublick has won 23 points on serve. 12 of them have come as unreturned serves. That means he's only won 11 points off of the ground on his service games, right? I mean, you talked about at the outset that idea of the serve +1 being so important, whether it be the dropper or that big forehand. He's not finding that either here tonight.
Just 5 of 25 on second serve points, if I'm reading that right, Mike.
You are. Backhand to backhand we go. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner run around forehand to a Bublick forehand up the line. Sinner goes backhand back up the line. Bublick forehand cross. Sinner forehand cross, huge angle. Bublick up the line with his forehand, misses long. It's love 15.
Yeah, Sinner dominating the forehand to forehand pattern, and you'd expect that. I mean, Jannik Sinner's forehand is so reliable and fearsome at the same time. Bublick's is streaky at best.
15 serve. T. Sinner yanks a forehand wide. It's 15-all. I feel like Jannik has dinner plans here tonight.
Yeah.
There's a what's the restaurant that they go to, Nick? You're going to know better than I.
He and Carlos.
Yes.
A steakhouse somewhere in Midtown.
Yes, exactly. Serve good into the body. Bublick gets a short backhand. He overruns it. It got into his body, and it's 15-30.
Just thinking ahead, because I think I'm pretty safe to do so. Musetti waiting for Sinner in the quarterfinals, and Musetti would be watching this with interest. Obviously, those guys know each other quite well, boys, but the ground game in particular, and Macca, you point out the serve from Sinner, it's just all clicking.
Forehand for Bublick goes cross. Sinner throws up a lob. Bublick backtracks overhead. Good into the ad corner.
Yes, if that matchup does eventuate, that's always a tricky psychological battle when you play your countrymen. So it's anyway, but that's still yet to be determined. You can never count your chickens in tennis.
A miss first serve here at 30-all. Second serve here for Bublick, good. Sinner goes forehand middle. Drop shot from Bublick. Sinner, will he get there? Yes, pops it up the line, and it's not covered by Bublick. He was covering cross there over the lowest part of the net. Sinner somehow pops it over the highest part, and he's got another break chance.
And Darren Kerr was very happy with that. I mean, that was a really good drop shot. He couldn't have hit it any better. And somehow Jannik Sinner's anticipation and blinding speed, and then the dexterity controlling the racket face to just spear it down the line for a winner outside of Bublick's reach. Amazing stuff.
Serve good down the tee. Short response. Bublick with an overhead puts it into the deuce corner. And that means Jannik Sinner is now 6 of 12 on his break chances. We're at deuce.
The slide on that Sinner drop shot, get to, into, and after the ball. I mean, it's just phenomenal stuff.
Serve good. Sinner returns through the middle. Bublick backhand in behind it. Volley from him. Sinner's going to have time on a forehand. Puts it into the deuce corner. No problem. Clean winner. Another break chance.
There's that range I was talking about, returning range, where he can hit an offensive hard return at full stretch off both wings. It's really a remarkable talent he has there.
Break chance here once again. Again, I said 6 of 12. We're going to stick with it. Bublick's serve tee is just wide. Second serve here from Sasha, the 23 seed, the world number 24. Good. Sinner through the middle. Bublick forehand to a Sinner. Backhand middle. Bublick rolls a backhand to a Sinner. Forehand middle. Bublick rolls a forehand good. Sinner backhand middle. Bublick forehand up the line. Running backhand Sinner. Bublick backhand cross misses long. And Jannik Sinner, another break. But hey, listen, there's one positive. Alexander Bublick didn't double fault for the first time.
We have a first.
We have a first.
Progress is being made.
Macca, I'm going to put you in a tough spot here. I'm going to put you back into your playing shoes.
Oh, my goodness. Now I'm in a tough spot.
Okay.
Yeah. Weaponless and lots of weaknesses. Okay.
Everybody who has played this sport at some level has been on the wrong end like this.
Yes.
You're in a professional match. You're getting beaten up like this. What are the thoughts that run through your head at this stage when the match is, again, with a set and 2 breaks? What goes through your mind in those moments?
I'm trying to think of my most embarrassing loss. There were so many. Really, sometimes when it's going this badly, you really are just trying to get the next game. That's all you can think about. It's like, okay, it's probably not my night or my day, but let's just focus on the next point, try and get the next game. And you have to break it down to as simple as that. And then you're thinking, well, what's going wrong here? Like, try to fix my ball toss or try and lighten up the grip pressure on my racket. Am I so uptight that I'm choking the racket? Or, you're searching for answers out there.
But even at this point, when everybody, I mean, Alexander Bublick's not a dumb man. He knows this match is over. Is he not thinking about where he's going to have dinner, where he's going to go next, what his wife's thinking right now?
To be perfectly honest, his mind might be wandering at this point to well, it's going to be nice to be home again. But, I'm sure he'll continue to swing away, but he wouldn't be human if he wasn't thinking about, what's the flight schedule? Can I leave in the morning or the afternoon?
That was the first changeover that he wasn't talking with his team. He actually just watched these celebrities up on the big board the whole time.
And I think that's my point, is I think he knows it as well. Sinner serves out wide, chip return lands good. Sinner goes backhand cross. Bublick goes backhand line. Look at that! And he raises his arm to this crowd.
That's a bit of good humor there. One of his few quality shots of the night, and the crowd give him a bit of encouragement.
Jannik's not very entertained.
No, I bet he's not. I bet he's not at all. It's love 15. That's one of the, I think that might be the first deficit he's faced here on his serve here tonight at 3-love in the third. Love 15 serves Sinner out wide, gets a free point off of it. And again, despite the set and 2 breaks, Sinner pumps his fist there after shutting it down to 15-all.
Well, that's right. I mean, Halle is still fresh in his memory.
It really is.
He wants this set 6-love if he can get it. So.
I think he does. He's got 2 breadsticks. Why not a bagel? 15-all here for Sinner. Serve out wide is good. It's an ace. Third of the set. 30-15.
And not only does he want to get that bagel and be ruthless, I think he'd like to finish serving well too, because it's been a little bit scratchy the last couple of rounds. So to finish with some confidence, hitting your spots, making all your first serves would feel good for him.
Lob return lands good. Sinner backtracks, inside out forehand to a Bublick backhand middle. Sinner's going to have the entire deuce court to hit into. He does it well. He's got game points.
He's been fairly lethal with his forehand tonight. Certainly Bublick's helped out with a lot of unforced errors, but I mean, if you give he or Carlos Alcaraz any kind of time on the forehand, they will end the point.
Well, let me call this point, and then I'll just give you the stat here in just a second, Macca, to your point. At 40-15, Sinner serve tee is into the net. He has actually stepped it up in this third set. He has 9 winners in this third, as just completely dictating. Serve is good. Chip drop return. Sinner there with the backhand goes cross. Misses it long. 3 of those have come off that forehand side, but he is so dialed right now. And again, this crowd is begging, and Bublick actually throws up his hands. Why not get the crowd involved here?
I think that was a deliberate drop shot return.
Oh, for sure it was.
Yeah,
it was,
I mean,
for sure.
Jannik should not have missed it, but you can't accuse him of not trying some different things.
Yeah, one of the first real miscues from Jannik tonight. Just bunted that ball long.
Yeah, first unforced error of the set. 9 winners to 1 unforced error. Serve Sinner good. Bublick back in cross. Sinner digs it out through the middle. Bublick drop shot. Sinner will get there. Forehand goes up the line as he waited for Bublick to commit first. 4-love Sinner.
Another great example of as soon as Bublick changed from a 2-hander to a 1-hand, as soon as that second hand came off the racket, Jannik Sinner was charging forward, just knowing that a drop shot was coming. And that's that great scouting, that hyper awareness that he has coming into this match.
Bublick, love 4, serve. Was that a foot fault? I think it was.
Yes.
There's been 5 or 6 of those tonight, Mike.
Second serve here for Bublick. Good. Sinner goes backhand middle, running backhand Bublick. Sinner, backhand slice to a Bublick backhand slice into the net. Well,
the bagel is looming large right here.
Very, very
It's a nice
much
meal.
so.
2 breadsticks and a bagel.
It's a lot of carbs. And
That's
for those of us who are gluten-free, that's a terrible meal.
Yeah, Mike Bryan would hate that meal.
Forehand to forehand. Is he gluten-free too? I did not know that. Forehand Sinner. Squash shot Bublick lands good. Sinner forehand into the net. I think everybody on court thought that ball was going to miss long, and Sinner all of a sudden has to crank up the aggression on that forehand. Misses short.
Will he get a game this set? That's the question right now. 15-all.
Serve out wide. Sinner forehand up the line. I'm going to guess no. That is a return winner from Jannik Sinner. There is no mercy being shown right now.
And they flashed to his coach, Darren Cahill, one of his coaches, Darren Cahill, and he just had a little grin on his face like, you little ripper.
Serve, body long. Second serve, Bublick at 15-30. Good. Sinner backhand middle off the baseline and good. Draws a backhand error. Break chances. Bublick, who has put his head in his hands. Well, 15:40 at 1 hour, 10 minutes on the clock. Serve is good. Sinner forehand through the middle. Volley from Bublick. Sinner backhand right at Bublick, who throws up a lob. Sinner backtracks, throws up a lob. This should be done right now. And Bublick again pumps his fist to the crowd. Look at him. He's got it to 30. Hooray!
It was a serve volley play, a great return. The half volley was popped up for the easiest of passes, but Bublick guessed right, as he so often does, and stole the point.
Oh my, serve T, good. Sinner yanks a forehand miss. Play with the crowd a little bit. Let's have some entertainment.
He's trying to.
He is.
Still the holiday weekend here, guys.
For a couple more hours. Deuce serve, Bublick. Out wide is Long. Second serve for Sasha is a double.
Way long, didn't get any kick spin on it.
And quickly at the line once again is Alexander Bublick. Serve is good. Sinner through the middle. Bublick fake drop shot. Sinner goes backhand cross. Bublick backhand cross. Sinner backhand through the middle. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner backhand up the line. Running forehand. Bublick back up the line. And Sinner can't track that down. We go back to Deuce.
Just a go for broke forehand up the line from well behind the baseline. Possibly his best shot of the night in a way. It's all too little too late, you would think, but that was a cracking forehand up the line from Sasha.
Serve, T, good. He's got a game point out of this. From 3 break points down. Game point now for Bublick. Serve, Bublick. He is just long. Second serve is good off the service line and good. Now a backhand from Sinner. Bublick backhand middle. Sinner forehand is into the net. Sasha Bublick celebrates like he's won the title. His team is laughing along with him and in good spirits despite this scoreline. 6-1, 6-1, 4-1, all in favor of Jannik Sinner. Let's go over to Grandstand, get an update from Gil Gross. Gil?
Thanks, Mike. What a shocker, and I've got a question for you guys. But first, an update on this doubles match on Grandstand. It's Siniakova and Townsend now up a set and a break, 2-1 in the second. Just a great return game by Taylor individually in that 1-all game to help the #1 seeds go up the break. Just want to note that the winner of this match will take on Leylah Fernandez and Venus Williams. So the 2 crowd favorites, the 2 biggest draws in this women's doubles draw, have unfortunately drawn each other in a prospective quarterfinal, which in some ways is a shame, but obviously sets up for a blockbuster as long as Siniakova and Townsend keep going. So guys, I have to ask, it's a genuine question. I don't mean to put anybody in a tough spot here. When it comes to the double faults, right, Bublick has a technical issue. He can be trying as hard as he possibly can, and double faults are a problem for him. But in all the other aspects, I mean, what has the effort level been like for Bublick? Because it's just a very surprising scoreline, obviously from afar.
Oh, Gil, I don't think it's lack of effort.
No, not at all.
He has just been a little bit intimidated by Sinner's power and his lack of weaknesses. He's tried to make the drop shots just a little too good, and if the drop shot confidence goes on him, then really he's in a tough spot, as we say, because he certainly can't win the baseline rallies. So he's a high-risk, high-reward player, and right now nothing's going right for him.
Yeah, and Gil, I just want to add to that, you know, listen, you and I both have called matches where the effort is not there at all, and that's not been the case. He's been completely outclassed today, and I think it's not a drop-off in a tank situation, but more just of a drop-off in intensity because of the fact that he is just getting beaten left and right. So I really don't think it's an effort level at all from Bublick. I think it's Jannik Sinner being angry and using it to his advantage as we bring you back inside Arthur Ashe Stadium here. It's 4-1 in the third set. 15-love on the Sinner serve from the far side of the court. Hour and 15 minutes into this one. Serve here for Jannik Sinner. T, good. Forehand return from Bublick. Up the line. What a shot from Sasha Bublick with a big smile on his face. Return winner to 15-all.
This is where it gets a little dangerous, too, for Sinner, guys, is that if Bublick can start connecting on a few of these and get one of the breaks back, but, man, it's a steep Mount Sinner to climb.
Yes, it is. 15-all, Sinner ready. Serve, T, Lob return's going to land short. Sinner into the deuce corner. Bublick was there. That's going to be a hard one to get solid strings on. Almost comes up with it. It's 30-15.
Yes, he's got remarkable anticipation. Watching a few of his matches this week, he has guessed right where his opponent's going to put the ball away so many times. It's like he's got a spidey sense.
I've always thought he's an incredibly smart player. His tennis IQ is actually very, very high. It's just been the mental acuity to stay focused for not only within matches, but long stretches of the season. I think has been the only thing that's kept Sasha from being a consistent top 20 player at the very worst. 4-1, 30-15, serve Sinner, good. Bublick up the line, another return winner, this time off the backhand side. There's no pressure on him right now.
He's gotten to the point of the match where he's actually just trying to put on a show.
Yeah.
He was irritated in the first couple of sets, but now he's let it all go, and he's just going for these spectacular shots to entertain the crowd, if nothing else. It's working for him.
It's loosened him, hasn't it?
Yes,
Maka?
it has.
And you're right. I mean, he was stressed to open this match, and it played out in his tennis.
30 all. No break chances as of yet. Serve T is a let.
Even that shot was spectacular.
Yes.
It was a let, so it didn't count, but he stuck out his backhand with one hand. He's normally a two-hander, and it went for a rocket ship inside-out winner.
Try again. Serve out wide. Chip return through the middle. Sinner forehand cross. Bublick forehand cross. Sinner forehand middles into the net. Here we go.
Wow.
Break chance number one for Sasha Bublick with a huge smile on his face. The team all laughing a little bit as well. And listen to the crowd.
And they're pulling for a break here and a little bit of a contest. Sinner with a very uncharacteristic forehand miss there. Would be wild with himself for giving Bublick a little bit of a window here of opportunity.
At 30-40, serve Sinner out wide. That is just crushed. Just crushed. Steps up to the line and smacks it. We're back to deuce.
And that's important for Sinner. That's a break point. He did not want to lose serve there. When he walks off the match tonight, just that little bit of extra confidence from saving a bit of trouble, if he does indeed hold here, he'll feel good about that.
Guys, I've got some trivia here for you.
Oh boy.
Do you think we're still in contention for the shortest men's match ever at the U.S. Open?
Serve T just long. I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess no.
Yeah, no for me as well.
Second serve upcoming here at deuce. Serve good. Bublick up the line. Sinner tracks down a backhand. Off the baseline and good. Now he gets a backhand, goes cross. Bublick backhand inside out. Off the net. It landed good. Sinner still tracked it down. I don't know if it was good or not, but Sinner made no mistake. He got it off of the bounce and put it away for a winner regardless of whether the shot was good or not.
It was almost the impossible shot because had it not hit the net, it would have gone halfway into the doubles alley. It was going that far wide, but the net redirected it back into, if it didn't land in, it was almost in.
We've just passed the shortest men's match ever, 1 hour, 11 minutes, 1987. Lendl takes out Barry Moyer of South Africa.
I remember that match.
Triple
bagel, right?
Triple bagel.
Yep, I remember.
Serve out wide, return just missing wide. We might not get the triple bagel. We might get the triple
breadstick. That was thanks to Lindsay Gower on our research team. They've done a phenomenal job for our broadcast.
As always.
Somewhere at home, Barry Moyer's happy for the shout out.
Barry, Baza.
Yep.
Your record stand.
No one likes their records broken.
All right, here we go. Trying to stay in it is Bublick. Serve and volley. Backhand lob from Sinner. Bublick gets to it, but misses the overhead out wide. 15.
Another question I have, guys, is will Jannik Sinner head to the practice court after this match?
That's an interesting. Oh, underarm serve. Good. Sinner there. And gets... Boy, there was one fan who really didn't like that. Boo!
Right behind me.
Okay, there you go.
Well, the crowd, some people who don't know his game would associate it with tanking, but he, as we know so well, uses it to great effect. He disguises it well, and especially to that backhand court, that inside-out spin.
Yeah, the inside-out one, yeah.
He legitimately wins some points with that.
Ano and Tour laughing about that underarm serve a moment ago. 30-15 here for Bublick at 1-5. Serve T. Sinner forehand to a Bublick forehand rolled. Sinner backhand hop, backhand winner into the corner for 30 all, 2 points away.
Fellas, honestly, if this was a day match, I think it would be a fair question to us. Jannik might go out for 20 or 30 minutes and just brush up on a few of the things that he hasn't done so well. Being a night match, I highly doubt it. But
volley from Bublick is going to miss. We are at match point at just 1 hour and 21 minutes.
The breadstick dream is alive and well. Here we go, match point.
30-40 on the Bublick serve, near side, serve into the net. Second serve, Bublick. It is appropriately a double fault, and it's like we're at Olive Garden. Free breadsticks for everyone. Sinner's got 3 of them, 1, 1, and 1. These two with a hug at the net, laughing and joking about it. Bublick, he's having a full-on conversation. What are you doing to me, Jannik? That was revenge, and that was pretty sweet for Jannik Sinner. Straight sets and into an 8th straight Grand Slam quarterfinal. Jannik Sinner will hear it from this crowd.
Yeah, pretty comprehensive performance. His coaching staff will be relieved. I mean, I know that they were on red alert for this match and expecting the very best out of Sasha Bublick, which you always have to do with your opponent. You always expect their absolute best, so you're ready for it if they bring it, but it's always a pleasant surprise if your opponent gives you a shocker, and that's unfortunately for Sasha Bublick. That's the only way to describe his performance tonight. He was just way off from the first ball.
Yeah, and that was Bublick. We're seeing him walk through the hallway right now. He's laughing. I think he knows the absurdity of what just happened. A combination of a really rough start for him, and Sinner was a man determined here tonight. There was no way Jannik was going to give him an ounce here today. No question about it.
Yes, Jannik had a steely look about him from the outset. That first break set everything in motion. I think Sasha's looking for his pre-match interviewer just to say thank you very much for starting the landslide, putting that in my head. Was it 55 straight holds he had?
55 straight until the opening game.
Holds. Yeah, that's a remarkable achievement. But when the dam burst, it really burst.
Nick, your final thoughts from down there?
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking of the underarm serves and the drop shots and how fast Bublick was playing at times. I actually suspect that Jannik Sinner is going to go to the practice court after this, but he had to be ready for everything tonight. And I know that Bublick did not play to his standard. Let's not pretend that he did. But I'm just, and I've said it a few times during the match, Mike, I'm just so impressed by Jannik Sinner because that's a lot to handle.
Yes, it is.
And the way that he did it throughout the ground game that he played, it was all phenomenal. And he is now Jannik Sinner with Katie George.
Congratulations. You shared some laughter, a warm embrace with Sasha. What did he have to say after the match?
Yeah, we know each other very well, you know, so we had some tough battles, especially this year, so we know each other a little bit better now, how we play, so, you know, he just said congrats and wished me all the best, but, you know, he had a very tough match, the last match, you know, playing 5 sets, finishing very late. Today he didn't serve as good as he usually serves, and, you know, so, you know, I broke him very early in every set, which then gave me then the confidence to serve a little bit better, but overall, I'm very, very happy. The first time this year that I can play, you know, the night match here, and it makes so big difference. Wanted to say thanks everyone for coming, for cheering. This is a very special occasion for us players, so thank you so much.
How would you describe what it's like playing in Arthur Ashe in front of all these New Yorkers and fans of yours?
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, it gives so much energy here. It's very different to a lot of courts. This is the biggest stage we have in our season, so it's also the last Grand Slam we have of the season, so it makes everything much more special. So I'm very happy to be again in the quarters. It's a great result, you know. We try to
play as best as or as good as we can, and then we see what we can achieve this year. But overall, I'm very, very happy to be back in the quarters.
Speaking of the corners, it'll be an all-Italian quarterfinals between you and Lorenzo Musetti. What excites you about that matchup?
Yeah, it's great to see. I mean, Italian tennis is in a great form now. We have so many players, so many different game styles. Lorenzo is maybe one of the biggest talents we have in our sport, so I'm looking forward for this one. From an Italian point of view, it's great to have at least, for sure, one Italian player in the semis. I know here are a lot of Italians in the crowd, so it makes everything special.
Congratulations on a dominant performance. Best of luck moving forward. Jannik Sinner.
And just going back to that matchup, this will be their third match. Jannik Sinner with a 2-0 lead over Lorenzo Musetti. Musetti does have a walkover win, which obviously does not count to the official statistics. But Sinner has won both of the matchups, one on hard, one on clay, both in straight sets. So, you know, you anticipate that being a really difficult one for Lorenzo Musetti in a couple of days, but anything is certainly possible when you get to the quarterfinals of a major.
From Jannik Sinner's point of view, to win so comprehensively and not have to use too much fuel in his tank is a big plus, because these Grand Slam events are so grueling on the body and the mind, the emotions. So to get a 6-1, 6-1, 6-1 victory in just a little over an hour is just such a bonus. What a boon for him to get off the court so quickly, and he can even go and take some reps, as Nick alluded to, if he wanted to.
I think I might have to go to the practice courts right now. I feel like I got let down a little bit.
We didn't get to call enough, did we, Mike?
No.
We're looking for more.
So disappointing. You know, but we'll survive. We move on as well, and U.S. Open Radio moves on as well. We've got a really entertaining matchup for you. Beatriz Haddad Maia, Amanda Anisimova are coming up here on Arthur Ashe, Sophie Amiak, and the Holger Rune of tennis broadcasting, Abigail Johnson, joining us as well. You're listening to U.S. Open Radio, presented by American Express.
Althea Gibson is a part of us. She didn't just change the game, she made the game possible.
It's incredible people that were able to do certain things for us to be doing certain things now, right? And you always got to pay that forward. You always got to, you know, be educated in that side and understand that, you know, without X, Y, and Z, there is no Rastieva, there's no Haley Baptiste, there's no Sloane Stevens, Williams, and all these other things. And they opened that for us. And she was a true leader, and her and Arthur, man. So I got hella love for both, and you know, I wish you know, I could be saying that to them personally, but obviously with circumstances. But man, they're overwatching us, and I hope they're smiling over us, because we're doing some great stuff.
We carry her with us every time we step on the court, and we play not just for ourselves, but for everyone who comes next. Thank you, Althea, for 75 years of change.
Get ready for the next to go down in history. This is US Open Radio, presented by American Express.
It is on this Labor Day Monday night, and we've got a final inside grandstand in the round of 16 women's doubles. The top seeds, the two-time major champions, American Taylor Townsend and Katerina Siniakova of Czechia, have defeated Yue Yuan and Camila Osorio in straight sets to set up a blockbuster quarterfinal with Venus Williams and Leylah Fernandez again in the women's doubles draw. Townsend looking for her first ever U.S. Open title in women's doubles. She was a finalist in 2022. Is this the year? She's 3 matches away. And we've got our night session coming up with Abigail Johnson and Sophie Amiak. That's after the break on U.S. Open Radio, presented by American Express.
where barrier breakers meet dream chasers.
What an incredible story at this U.S. Open.
And the OGs meet the next to be.
The greatest of all time turns back the clock and is moving on.
Where the stars under these lights meet a whole new electricity.
I'm loving this crowd, and
this is where tradition meets trendy, and every moment, history. The U.S. Open, spectacular awaits.
Welcome back to US Open Radio presented by American Express. We are flying through the night session, the second night session of round 4 here at the 2025 US Open. Jannik Sinner, a bolt of lightning, storming past Alexander Bublick, the number 23 seed, for the loss of just 3 games. Myself, Abigail Johnson, and Sophie Amiak alongside me, we did manage to make it to the commentary box on time.
Yeah.
It was a challenge,
Well,
Sophie.
what's fun is our boss, Jim Knapp, is sending us texts. Are you guys on your way to the radio? Yes, we're checking. We are very diligent, and we're checking the scores. Yeah, it was confettis that he made out of Bublick, I thought. Little confettis? Yep.
It's a good description.
Yep, and I love that hat, by the way.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
nice.
I'm wearing a brand new US Open cap.
Very cool.
I was getting absolutely torn apart for wearing my 2024 version of a US Open cap for the duration of the tournament. Like, you get so many different styles
Well,
of
this
cap
one
at
you this
this
can
tournament.
wear all year round because there's no date on this one, right?
There is no date on it. I was
That's
very
good.
careful. I
This
think
is
long
forever.
term, in my purchase of the many caps that I own, hats, if you prefer, I do think quite carefully about it. It's neon pink, the one I'm wearing,
Yeah.
and I did figure I had enough outfits that it could mix around with. So I
Very nice.
went in. I got it this morning.
And it's the forever version of the stamps here in the U.S. You know, with no dates. They never go. They never go bad because you have no date on it. So
Check back here in 10 years' time, and I'll still be wearing this
There
pink
you go.
US Open Championships
Perfect.
cap. Jannik
Trendy.
Sinner, Alexander Bublick. You kind of know you've got to be ready if either of these two players are on court. You're never quite sure how it's going to go. Bublick had won the last match. Sinner broke in the opening game, never looked back.
No.
Sophie, from what you saw, from what you heard, was that result more about Sinner or more about Bublick today?
I think it's more about Sinner. I mean, Sinner is just on top of the world, the way he's dealing with matches. And he said it, when he first broke him, it just felt so good. And he's just playing some variety tennis, and the movement is exceptional that goes with it. Yeah, this is, for him to be 1 hour and 21 minutes on court right now, it's just looking so good for the tournament as we're saying au revoir to some of the people who are done for the night, I guess.
Some are, some are not. What a statement from Sinner. He was on the brink of a double break deficit in the third set against Denis Shapovalov just a couple of days ago. They'd split sets. Could have been 4-love for the Canadian. Just dropped the 1 set there, Sinner, and just dropped the 3 games tonight. So I do wonder if Amanda Anisimova and Beatriz Haddad Maia are fully ready to step out on court. It is 10-9 local time. The lights are down on the Arthur Ashe Stadium. They really do build a good atmosphere for the second match of the night session. A lot of flashing lights and atmospheric build-up. And it's going to be a new situation this tournament for both players, for each of them the first time this year that they are stepping foot on the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Is it any different for 24-year-old Anisimova this time around, the first time that she returns to the main stage at the US Open as a Grand Slam finalist?
I think it's different in the sense that she obviously probably has a lot more belief in herself and the ability to really make a difference on this tour and on the WTA Hologic Tour. I think even though losing 0-0 in the final of Wimbledon, to me, yes, it's horrible when you're there. Probably is something that you really, really don't want to remember. But, 99.9% of the whole world would have loved to sign up to be in the final of Wimbledon and losing 0-0. Me, and myself included.
Jump in there with you.
Yeah, so you have to remember what got you there. You have to apply the experience, which I think it's always so valuable to get into a final of a major, no doubt. For Haddad Maia, more complicated, I think, tonight for her. She did play on this court against Muchova. That was a really good match. Was that when 2 years ago? Or
No,
last year?
12 months
12
ago
months
at
ago, it
this
was last
very
year.
stage of this tournament, the quarterfinal stage.
It was during the day though, so night match, different feeling and ambiance, atmosphere, but exciting. And I think Haddad Maia, you know, as you know, Brazilian, you know, they get excited for their carnival and you know, their songs, their movement, their you know, samba. So let's see if she can translate that samba on the court tonight. Samba.
Many different colored, flashing, rotating lights. Prime time at under the lights. Read the big screens on Arthur Ashe Stadium, which, considering it was such a rollover in the previous match, seems fairly well populated for 5 minutes to 9 in the evening.
They're waiting for them to arrive because, like you said, I saw Haddad Maia in the players' lounge maybe, what, 15, 20 minutes ago, and she looked very calm, and she did check the score, so she knew that that was going to go pretty fast. So we're waiting for the ladies to come on, hopefully very soon. How was your day? What was your day like as far as results and what you saw? And what were you shocked about the Coco Gauff and Osaka? Or?
It's a tough one. I felt like Gauff had done a really good job of problem solving to this point, but if she came up against a different caliber of opponent who carried the belief and history of wins against her, it might be too much. She lost in the 4th round last year. It was a repeat of the result. And Osaka has turned a huge corner, I believe, on court after the match. She referenced her match point saving defeat of Ludmila Samsonova in Canada. She really looked down and out of that match up until she was 30 love down with Samsonova serving for the win in Canada. And once she landed that forehand passing shot, I do believe not just her entire season, but the entire trajectory of her comeback after maternity leave a couple of years ago has changed from that point, just in terms of her own mentality and her own self-belief. Wow, I was getting hit off the court for about an hour or so, and I managed to find a way to come through, hung tough in order to do that, and built the wins off the back of that to get to the final. Didn't end in reassuring fashion for Osaka when she spiraled a little against teenage sensation Victoria Mboko in that 1,000 level final. But the fact is she got herself back there, and Sophie, she's actually been so far away from that for the past 12 months or so. So huge encouragement for Osaka coming in, and that only grows with the straight sets defeat of Coco Gauff.
Yeah, and looking at Osaka playing against Smolova, that would be an interesting matchup because Smolova can definitely disturb a lot of players with style of play, the slice, the topspin, the approach shot, the serve. She has a lot more variety than a lot of the players. The drop shot, I think, should be used to. Or Osaka is going to pretty much outplay her and outpower her. That's the other thing that Osaka can do against any players. So we set for this quarterfinals. We still have one to come, which is Amanda Anisimova and Beatriz Haddad Maia. 4th round match. And of course, on the other side of the draw, we also have Sabalenka Vondrousova, that would be tomorrow, and Pegula Krejcikova. Pretty exciting.
Very exciting. As the spotlights begin to dance across the octagonal stands of Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's been a cooler day in Flushing Meadows, but the roof has remained open throughout. The spectators will see nothing but the darkness above as we get ever closer to 9 p.m. local time, and the emergence of the players for the night match onto court. Anisimova and Haddad Maia having faced off 3 times previously. The head-to-head 2-1 in the favor of Anisimova, but Haddad Maia, the Brazilian, winning their latest clash in 2023. How much do you think Anisimova has changed as a player since they last faced off, Sophie?
Well, it's a year ago, a year or so ago, it's totally different mentality. Like I said, I think Anisimova is much more confidence in her game and in her ability to, play to the level of the top players. She showed that when she was playing at Wimbledon, against Sabalenka. Was a pretty amazing match that she won to get to the final. So I think if Anisimova plays the tennis of Anisimova, which is the power, I mean, she is one of the biggest hitter on tour. It'll be very, very difficult for, of course, here we go, Haddad Maia, but here we go.
It seems like you've gotten better and better with every match you've played here in New York. Why is that?
Well, I have good memories. I like to play here. It's a Grand Slam. I feel comfortable and I'm excited for tonight.
Speaking of memories, it's been a while since you last played Amanda. What did you learn from those first 3 meetings?
Yeah, it's a long time ago. I think some things changed after that, also for her and for me. And, well, let's enjoy it. Let's work as hard as I can, and let's see what happens.
Best of luck, Bia.
Thank you.
Here's Amanda Anisimova. Amanda, this is the first time you've played in the second week at the U.S. Open. What has you playing so well here in New York?
Yeah, I feel like my confidence is really high right now, and I've been playing a lot of tough matches this year. So, yeah, I think I'm just riding a little bit of that high and excited to be into the second week here.
It's been 2 years since you last faced Bia. What stands out about her game?
Yeah, she's an incredibly tough player, also a lefty, which is tricky. But yeah, it's been a while since we've played, so I'm looking forward to it.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York.
Let's get started. Please welcome the players for tonight's round of 16 match. From Brazil, Roland Garros semifinalist, Beatriz Haddad Maia.
Yeah, that's the best Grand Slam result for the Brazilian Beatriz Haddad Maia, who has a serious look on her face as she salutes the crowd, walking out onto the darkened Arthur Ashe Stadium. A lot of neon pink going on with the outfit, the white cap and shirt as well.
From the United States, Wimbledon finalist and the world number 9, Amanda Anisimova.
The 24-year-old with a smile on her face and an acknowledgement of the crowd. She walks out onto center stage with earpods in both ears, jacket on, racket spag slung over her right shoulder. She now removes it and takes up position at the chair left-hand side of the umpire. And Anisimova's appearance in the last 16 here at the US Open means that she has now gone 4th round or better at all 4 of the major tournaments. And Sophie, I think we alluded to it, considering the break she took for her mental health and the varying dips and rises in her journey since she first burst onto the scene as a teenager. That's pretty impressive consistency on the biggest stages of the tournament.
Yeah, and that's what you want to look at, a player who wants to be you know, in the top 10, staying in the top 10 and winning majors. That's the importance of consistency is everything, as we are going to now listen to the coin toss between the 2 of them with referee Luis Azemar Angzel, who is from Sweden.
Thank you. Same conditions. Can you be white for the towel, please? White. Red for the towel. Questions? Questions? Heads, tails? 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 Serve? Good match. The box. Here or here?
Well, as Beatriz Haddad Maia, this year's number 18 seeds, returns to Arthur Ashe Stadium for the first time this season, she's just asking about the basic logistics. Where are the towel boxes, the process of play? The left-hander has opted to serve first, so she will get us up and underway at the culmination of the warm-up. Both players at the baseline, gearing up for the final match of the day. I'm going to take a break here on US Open Radio, but when we come back, it'll be Amanda Anisimova up against Beatriz Haddad Maia, and that is for a spot in the quarterfinals at this year's tournament. You're listening to US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Back with us on US Open Radio, presented by American Express, where we are gearing up for the final match of the day. The second night match on Arthur Ashe Stadium pits Amanda Anisimova up against Beatriz Haddad Maia for the fourth time, I should say, in their careers. That's my unforced error for the evening. Sophie, they're at the baseline after a very quick victory for Jannik Sinner. Just the 3 games dropped as he roared through against Alexander Bublick. I think we have decent expectations of this one being a little closer.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be closer. Well, you know, again, if you have Anisimova playing the way she's played and seeing that she's one of the players that can hit the ball as hard as anyone out there. I mean, I asked to find out, you know, with the Archive, how fast her forehand for Anisimova. The fastest forehand was 86.6 miles per hour. The fastest backhand, 88.7. That is huge. Okay, I don't think you realize how fast that goes through the air, but I can tell you that Haddad Maia is not going to like it if it comes that fast. Obviously tonight a little bit cooler conditions, so it might not go as fast as it will during the day and having heat. But in all, she has one of the hardest and heaviest ball on the tour. So if she plays with little unforced errors and good consistency, Haddad Maia is going to have a lot of work to do. For Haddad Maia, it's all about retrieving balls, for sure, and try to make her way to the net. She's somebody who likes to sneak in, especially if she pushes her opponent wide in retrieving position. She will sneak up and try to take the next one in the air.
We're going to watch out for it as the players head to the chairs. The warm-up completes. Anisimova in the golden jewelry, the ring earrings and the golden chain around her neck. Haddad Maia with hair tied up over her visor, and this their first meeting at a Grand Slam, their third meeting on a hard court. They have split their matches when facing off on outdoor hard courts. A straight setter for Anisimova and the same for the Brazilian, and that was their most recent meeting in 2023. Both just taking their time depositing the towels in the boxes. It's a little bit of a distance to get there when you're used to playing on some of the smaller stadiums, the outside courts for Haddad Maia and her journey to date at this tournament. 3 matches played, the 1 set dropped in her opening round against Great Britain's Sonny Cartel. It is by the choice of the current world number 22 that she serves first in this final match of the day. A lot of fans still in the stands to support one of their own on court. Anisimova with the bright pink trainers, complementing the darker toned outfit as she stands behind the baseline to the left of the chair umpire. We'll get an early look at a second serve from her first left-handed opponent this tournament. Haddad Maia, double faults.
Well, and you know, if you look at the record for Anisimova against left-handed players, she's 13-11 in her career. So, you know, kind of a half 50-50% winning and losing, a little better winning, but it's tough. It's tough to play left-handed. You have to get used to the slice serve that is really pushing you wide, especially if it's short in the box on that side right here on the ad side.
And this is Haddad Maia still missing the first serve. This initial attempt down into the net. So she'll take her time bouncing the ball first with the racket and then with the non-playing hand. The woman who's been ranked as high as world number 10 serves into the body of Anisimova, who goes long with the forehand, just towels down the lower half of her face with one of the gray wristbands.
So, sorry about that. So both of them obviously seeded in this tournament, 8 for Anisimova, 18. So they got through their rounds without playing anybody better than number 52 in the world. So this is definitely a much bigger match for both of them.
As Haddad Maia serves into the body, stays on top of the court to take the backhand deep into the body of Anisimova. Will be offensive with the forehand and watch the forehand of Haddad Maia float long, so 15-30. Is there a little bit of an asterisk on that stat, Sophie, with Haddad Maia having just come past former top 10 player Maria Sakkari That was a 6-1, 6-2 scoreline. How far off her best is Sakkari right now?
Oh, she's not there. I mean, she's still Sakkari. She's still that name, but Sakkari is just definitely not playing the tennis, and she was blown away by Haddad Maia in 2 straight sets. Very easy.
Haddad Maia looking not to be blown away early by the big-hitting American. Anisimova already controlling play from the middle of the baseline, takes a backhand down the line into the outstretched backhand of Haddad Maia, gets a forehand on top of the court, which will force the error. The poor ball kid, ducking behind the chair umpire, has to jump out of the way so as not to be hit. Early break points for the tournament's number 8 seed.
And this is a typical point from the racket of Anisimova, just hitting harder and harder with more pace through the whole rally, and the last forehand was even faster than every single shot that she hit, and all in the court, mind you.
Anisimova head and shoulders up, bounces from foot to foot, and now crouches waiting for the delivery. Hasn't seen too many first serves in this game. Long at the tee from Haddad Maia, who is now hanging in this opening service game by a second serve thread. Halter position for a moment. The 29-year-old serves body. Backhand taken on quick to the body by Anisimova. Forces the error. Dialed and full of intent from the number 8 seed in that opening game. Barely a reaction from Amanda Anisimova, who knows that there's still a long way to go, but she'll be very pleased with that opening break of serve, especially given that her opponent chose to serve and to try and look after the serving advantage at the beginning of this match.
Yeah, perfect first game for the American. Maybe a little bit of butterflies in the stomach of Haddad Maia, who's not as used to playing on this big stage.
And it's a point worth making, Sophie, because just the perimeters of Arthur Ashe Stadium are so vast. There is a lot of space around the actual court itself. And she's someone who massively feeds off the encouragement from the coaching box, the noise from the stands. Will have a lot of the Brazilian contingent coming and following her matches on the outside courts. She's very much in American territory tonight as she takes the forehand long, leans out of it, and Anisimova gets the first point on serve.
And mind you, she was on an 11-match losing streak on hard courts, Beatriz Haddad Maia, from the 3rd round exit at the Australian Open. That was back in January to Monterey a few days ago. So coming to New York, that's when she started to finally get a little bit of joy on the hard court, winning 3 rounds, sorry, that would be, as we are in the 4th round. Sophie, let's get with the program.
It's all right, we're halfway through the tournament. This is one. I described this to someone earlier as like the Wednesday of a week, the middle portion of the tournament, just the hump of the journey. Cross-court forehand from Anisimova into the backhand stretch of Haddad Maia. Opens up the court beautifully. She has put the flat backhand away for 1 love and 30 love here on the tournament's main stage. Yeah, no better time for Haddad Maia. She sits at world number 22 currently. She is defending quarterfinal points. She is 1 win away from backing up that run of last season. She took down a couple of noteworthy names, inclusive of a former finalist here, Caroline Wozniacki, Anna Kalinskaya as well, who was seeded. Anisimova here in the last 16 for the first time. Serves a second delivery into the body of Haddad Maia, quickly up to the backhand to take it at waist height, and long goes Haddad Maia. So this is triple game point for Anisimova.
Haddad Maia has a big loop forehand, which really, if you don't make up the speed of the ball with the acceleration of your racket to get to the ball in time to make contact at the proper position, you're going to end up missing this kind of forehand that she just missed, just too late.
40 love for the Americans. Serves out wide, doesn't have to play another ball. Long it goes from the number 18 seed, who is looking fairly accusingly at her racket strings. Anisimova, without a care in the world thus far, just adjusts the light gray dress on her shoulders, and the scoreboard reads 2 love in her favor. The picture of cool, a long glance in the direction of her coaching corner, and a deep breath from the number 8 seed. Early pressure on Beatriz Haddad Maia, who serves from the left-hand side of the chair umpire and misses the first delivery by some distance, was targeting the tee. Serving numbers were standout in her most recent win over Maria Sakkari. Saved all 4 break points she faced, but this is another double fault from the Brazilian. She opened with one as well and seems a little thrown by both the occasion and the quick way in which her opponent has started the match. Love 2, love 15.
Yeah, no doubt. She's feeling the pressure. She's feeling the nerves right now, but she's somebody who's always found solutions when she was playing, and she's going to keep trying and keep going at it.
Anisimova.
She has a great mentality on the court. Haddad Maia, big fighter.
Yeah, that was so evident in her 3-set first round against Sonne Cartel. A very dramatic affair over on court 11, a fair distance from Arthur Ashe Stadium, where she serves tee up the middle, is immediately put on the reach on the backhand, and it's cut through the court back behind by the double-hander of Anisimova. So very quickly, love 2, love 30. Yeah, that was, I don't know if you saw any of that match, Sophie, but to date, one of the wildest matches, maybe even more wild than Barbora Krejcikova's 8-match point saving victory over Taylor Townsend yesterday, for very different reasons. Cartel played a pretty flawless 6-1 second set and immediately started cramping. Haddad Maia had taken quite a lengthy bathroom break off the court, so maybe something was starting and she went a little cold in that time. So Haddad Maia quickly went up 4-love in the decider, and then apparently her hamstring seized up. Ouch. So there was this portion in the deciding set where neither player could actually move.
Ouch.
Haddad Maia, even at her 6'1" height, was just rolling in serves, and for a while you wondered if she was cramping as well. I don't think she's cramping here. I think she's just a deer in the headlights, and it has responded the situation now with another double fault, and she has to laugh a little at this. Haddad Maia hides her smiling face in her towel. 2 double faults in this singular game, and it's put her down love 2 and love 40.
I'm quite amazed to see how much she's sweating also, because the conditions are very, very cool out there. Maybe when we get, I think Gil is on his way there, we can ask him what the feeling is on Arthur Ashe as far as heat.
Anisimova with the backhand return into the net, so light relief for Haddad Maia. And I think the point I was going to make, Sophie, about that match with Cartel, she was so relentlessly positive, Haddad Maia, even when you didn't know if she was actually going to free up again in terms of her body and her state of being in the 3rd set. She won the point, she lost the point. It was still the same fist pump. It was the same motivational self-talk.
The will.
Yeah, incredibly positive and incredibly just behind herself, but the ball is behind her on this occasion. The return onto the feet, courtesy of Anisimova, the placement, the potency of her strike, doing all the talking in these early stages. 3-love with the double break leads Amanda Anisimova on Arthur Ashe Stadium. You're listening to US Open Radio, presented by American Express. You rejoin us on US Open Radio, presented by American Express, and there is something in the cool evening air on Arthur Ashe Stadium. Jannik Sinner already a winner tonight for the loss of just 3 games in 3 sets, and now Amanda Anisimova finds herself up an early double break on Beatriz Haddad Maia, the woman who won their most recent meeting. But it's Anisimova who is suffocating the baseline. Forehand winner down the line behind an accurate first serve, puts her up 3-love, 15-love in the opening set of her first ever US Open fourth round. The Wimbledon finalist looking very much at home on the big stage, serves another big delivery out wide into the lefty forehand of Haddad Maia, and she has not blinked yet, Sophie Amiak.
She's not blinked, and I mean, besides the Wimbledon final, she also obviously won one of the biggest tournament on tour in Doha. She also got to the final of the Queens before Wimbledon, lost to Tatiana Maria, which I will talk more about why.
Serve into the body from Anisimova. Forehand spooned long by the number 18 seed, so already triple game points.
Yeah, when she played in the final of Queens against Tatiana Maria, you know, I knew that that was going to be a difficult match because Tatiana Maria is one of the craftiest player out there. Because of kind of the Nikolitsky over time with a lot of slice and dice and change of pace as she hits a forehand now. Almost inside-in winner after a short return, but misses it in the net, so 40-15. But that match, I was watching Tatiana Maria just getting completely Anisimova crazy. And if you have that type of game, that's what and how you can win. Just because you give no pace in the ball, you hit the ball so low that it's so difficult to attack for Anisimova. But tonight, not quite the same player here. She should use her slice backhand, actually, if she could, I think. Haddad Maia in this match.
She's consistently leaning out of her forehand wing, but there is a clenched fist as Anisimova puts the two-handed backhand middle of the net. And on this Arthur Ashe Stadium, there is an increasing volume for Haddad Maia. The crowd maybe just feeling she needs that lift to actually get going and make this a contest. It's been, what time did the night session start? 7 p.m.?
Yep.
2 hours and 20 minutes of steamroll thus far. Anisimova, long brown plait down her back, serves tee. She's still got a game point here, goes off forehand into the forehand of Haddad Maia, who lifts that one a little more, and there we go. Anisimova goes long off the back of the off-pace shot from the Brazilian, who looks calm now as she nods over at her team.
And I mean, this is like 3 and 4 serves from the racket of Anisimova after being up 40-love for a 4-love lead. You got to remember these. You got to put the nail in the coffin when you have it.
Can she still utilize the serving advantage? She's just clipped the net cord. Anisimova serving out wide to the backhand of her first left-handed opponent this tournament. So another attempt at the first delivery for the current world number 9. Anisimova out wide to the backhand. Now has to square up for the forehand back behind, generating her own pace. There's a little bit more lift and shape on the shots of Haddad Maia, getting the length of shot, but she is stretched out. The forehand can only be chopped into the bottom of the net. And in terms of the slice, Sophie, I agree with you, but I just think she's been so shell-shocked at the beginning of this set that she's not really found her footing enough yet to actually get behind the ball to execute a effective slice.
Yeah, she's going to have to find ways, though. Otherwise, this match could be very quick.
Advantage, Anisimova, serve out wide to the forehand, just scoops into the forecourt by Haddad Maia. Back behind goes Anisimova with all the footwork to get around the ball. Cross-court forehand forces the error. 4 games have been played, and all 4 have been claimed by the American, who is still yet to offer a flicker of emotion, positively or negatively, but she is shining under the lights in these early stages.
Yeah, besides those 3 and 4 serves, she's been pretty much flawless. And to give you an idea of perspective of how fast the forehand and backhand of Anisimova is going, 79 miles per hour on average for Haddad Maia, forehand 60, backhand 57. It is a huge discrepancy, to say the least. Complete different games between those 2 players. One with more topspin, the other one flatter and faster through the air.
Haddad Maia goes into the body with the first serve, and Anisimova still gets around it to land a deep return at her opponent's feet. Another follow-up on the forehand with good length forces the error. And for all the inner resolve of Haddad Maia, she still finds herself rocked on her heels at love 4 and love 15. Could get into the sinking sand territory here for the woman who made the last 8 last season, lost out to Karolina Muchova on this very court. That was the 6-1, 6-4 scoreline, her last visit to Arthur Ashe Stadium. So not a lot of exposure to the biggest purpose-built stadium in tennis for Beatriz Haddad Maia. She's missed the first serve. Second will be taken on top of the baseline by Anisimova. Wind up on the forehand, straight back at her opponent's body. Forehand inside in goes long, though, and she just indicates up her shoulder with the racket. Anisimova, a little muttering under her breath. I actually passed in the corridor a little earlier on, Sophie, Andrea Petkovic, who had been courtside when Anisimova played Emma Raducanu in a night session match in Canada a handful of weeks ago. And she was very big on the fact that the night conditions meant that the ball was landing consistently in the Anisimova strike zone. And she's lifted out of a forehand long here, 30-15 for Haddad Maia. But she is one of the better players on the tour at generating her own power. She doesn't necessarily rely on the springier conditions of a day session match. And actually, cooler conditions, and we have got cool conditions in Flushing Meadows this evening, can just mean that she's regularly able to find the sweet spot and execute, and we've definitely seen that so far.
Yeah, no doubt, but it's still a little slower than her average of some 86 miles per hour on the forehand and backhand, and or 85 on the backhand. She's at 79 tonight, which is not bad, but still, because of the conditions, I believe.
Goes cross-court backhand, just trickles off the net cord, but it hurts Haddad Maia, who doesn't get the timing on her own forehand, goes long on the first ground stroke behind the serve, and she's got to make the most of the time that she has as the server here. Haddad Maia, a long trudge over to the towel, love for 30 all.
6-4 stares for Haddad Maia, 0. I hate to say that. 0 winners so far in 4 games and a half. Opposite side, 5-4 for 3 winners.
Anisimova taking the big cuts and coming away with the rewards, and now she looks set.
Yeah, she's going to attack that second serve. She loves to go down the line with her returns, the further point away from the server.
She's landing less than 50% of first serves, Haddad Maia, and
that's
why we've seen another double fault. Number 4 of the set for the Brazilian puts her in dire circumstances. She's trying her best to kick up her feet as she picks up the towel. She is down break points for the triple break.
And it's interesting because in her last 3 matches so far, she's had only 10 double faults, Haddad Maia. Anisimova had 20 aces and 9 double faults. So Haddad Maia didn't have that many double faults, considering maybe 3 average per match. And that's already her 4th.
Serves out wide, comes for the serve and volley move, and that is effective from the 29-year-old. Very capable of using the forecourt, and it gets her to deuce here.
And that is what I love about this player, is that she's capable of changing things and adapting, and she knows that she's not winning many points from the baseline, so why not pull a, slice serve with the lefty serve and then come in behind it with that perfect volley on the open court. Smart.
So still looking for her first game of this match. Haddad Maia takes the backhand on the ascent. Anisimova forced to run to cover the forehand. Big strides cover the backhand down the line, which is just sensational from the American. A fist pump as she regains break points.
Unbelievable how she was able to stay stable through that hit, and completely wrong footing Haddad Maia.
Compact, clean, blistering stuff from the American, who bounces on the balls of her feet. The long brown plait swinging behind her over the top of the grey visor. Haddad Maia has once again missed the first serve. So a second delivery stand between the Brazilian and the loss of a 5th straight game here on Arthur Ashe Stadium. She serves middle of the box, forehand launched back at her by Anisimova, but lacks a little of her usual length, gets more length on the follow-up forehand. The backhand cross-court into the forehand of the Brazilian, timed nicely, having to get around the ball, takes the off forehand into the forehand of Anisimova. What defense, but backhand winner down the line from Haddad Maia, virtually in lunge position as she takes the ball at waist height.
Well, we just saw 2 of the most beautiful backhand execution from each player. The last one, I think, was even prettier, as you mentioned, how low she was. And she did lunge for sure, with that racket head going through the ball for the winner and the second winner of the match after that volley.
And all of that
Haddad Maia.
Simply to save break point. Deuce we are, as Anisimova takes a forehand return winner cross court like a bolt of lightning from the racket of the 24-year-old, who once again holds break point. Look of grim determination on her face as Haddad Maia sucks in her lower lip. She's been on the verge of finding something, but every time Anisimova has stepped up to the ball and taken the game on in response. Just the 21 minutes played here. Haddad Maia serves out wide to the backhand. Down the line, ambitious this time from Anisimova, who holds position and watches the return fall wide. Puff out of the cheeks as we return to deuce.
The return has been so important for Anisimova. She's actually hitting, the last quarter of the court, 70% of the return are really deep against Haddad Maia's serve, which is giving a lot of trouble to the Brazilian.
Who serves T, finds the corner. Anisimova finds the sweet spot on the backhand, though, and follows up with another beautiful backhand down the line. Picture perfect from the number 8 seed. And once again, she has a shot at 5-love.
Backhand winners before this match was 17 total in the 3 matches for Anisimova. She had 30 throughout the 3 matches of the forehand wing.
Ramping it up at advantage. Haddad Maia again.
Trying to serve and volley.
And forced to come through with a second serve. And she was fully ready to follow that serve out wide up the court, but not given the opportunity. So Anisimova takes a step closer to the baseline. Shoulders up in the ready position. Takes on the backhand. Cross-court winner. The angle majestic. The form unstoppable so far in this set for Amanda Anisimova. With 23 minutes played, she leads 5-love, and she will shortly serve for the opener. You are listening to US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Well, one spot still up for grabs today in the women's quarterfinals. Karolina Muchova, Naomi Osaka and Iga Swiatek already safely through. And at the moment, it looks like Amanda Anisimova who will join them. 5 games played and 5-1 by the number 8 seed over Beatriz Haddad Maia, the player who won their most recent meeting in 2023. But the Wimbledon champion serving here for the opening set, finds good placement out wide on the initial delivery, and that puts her 15-love to the good.
85% of first serves in the box. 11 out of 13, winning 8 out of 11. She only lost 3 points out of that first serve. Didn't lose a point of the second serve, 2-4-2. Those are great numbers. Anytime there's 100% somewhere, 2-4-2, it doesn't matter if it's only 2 serves. It's great.
Got to come with a second delivery here, the current world number 9, and she sends it up the tee, wild and wide from the double-handed backhand of Haddad Maia, who looks a little glum here. She has really tried to pick herself up throughout the set, but she had several opportunities to get on the board in the previous service game. 3 times went to deuce, 3 times saved a break point, but couldn't quite weather the storm. Backhand slice return from Haddad Maia, but it's short in the court, ripped through by Anisimova for triple set point.
Yeah, it's too bad it was short, because at least she started to do something. But, you know, again, Haddad Maia looks like she barely warmed up prior to getting on the court. To me, she's very flat all around.
Anisimova seals a sparkling set of tennis very fittingly with an ace out wide. Funnily enough, that was her first ace of the entire match, but everything else has been just as good throughout the course of an opening set that didn't even last half an hour. The big question is whether she can maintain that level, because from the offset, she has done all the talking in her first ever US Open fourth rounds. 26 minutes on the clock. I wonder if that was enough time for Gil Gross to run over to Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Run in 26. It's like 2 minutes from here. Gil, did you make it? No.
We yell into the void. Gil is not there.
Gil didn't make it. Yes, here you go.
Oh, Gil, are you with us? I can hear the sounds.
Can hear the sound.
I can feel Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yes.
We'll hear from Gil as soon as we can. As soon as he's set, as soon as he's ready. He's barely had time to have his dinner. Poor Gil, he's been a very busy man. 6-love, the opening set for Amanda Anisimova. So she won't be hungry with that bagel under her name, but...
Well, think about, you know, the last bagel that she saw was really against her at the Wimbledon final. She didn't see only one, she saw two against an amazing competitor as Iga Świątek winning Wimbledon. So, you know, it must feel good and must, you know, kind of look at saying, well, it's nice to be on that side of the net with that score on my side versus the other way. Yeah.
Talk a little bit, Sophie, about coming into this tournament. Fairly rare to go into your home Grand Slam, having just made the final at the most recent major, and yet not be all that talked about. Anisimova's in the world's top 10, but she was the 4th highest ranked American coming into this tournament. With the early exit of Madison Keys and now the departure of Coco Gauff earlier today, how does that change things for her in terms of if she comes through this match and what she deals with going forwards?
Well, I think what was great for her is to come here without having much attention and pressure, for that matter, because they're talking about everybody else but her. And, you know, she's definitely a dark horse, and we saw that. We saw how she was able to play at Wimbledon. It's just putting it together and being able to be more consistent. The reason that she is where she is today is the consistency level, and also feeling so much better on the court, and having said that, is feeling so much better off the court mentally. That really is really transporting to the way that she's been playing on the courts. She has been, you know, through a lot. She lost her father very young, who was her coach as well, which right there, I think, was the start of really having some mental issue that maybe were not addressed properly, and it took her a little time to say, you know what, I'm calling it off right now. I need to get away from this sport. I need to really reset and figure out if I really want to be back, and if I can mentally be a player and perform as one of the best players in the world. So, you know, kudos for these players who, you know, take time, leave the game, even though, you know, obviously they're making money, and, you know, you're just forfeiting a lot, and you never know if you're going to come back to the same level. So it worked for her, and I think it's a good example of maturity, to make the decision and to take that decision, and then, you know, to find a way that obviously she missed it. And, you know, it's great to see her back now on the court. And Gil, I think your mic is working now. Tell us about what the feeling is. I mean, is it warm out there? Because, you know, Haddad Maia is sweating profusely. Gil, can you hear us? No, he's having problem with his mic still. Well, hopefully this is going to be fixed, and we can have Gil coming back to us, and we'll find out more of what's going on court on Arthur Ashe.
I don't think Amanda Anisimova wants to hear from Gil. She's not giving him a lot of time. Just 30 minutes.
Maybe she's the one saying, no, Gil, don't come in. Everything is fine. We're all good.
Well, she's done the right thing here. She's got up on her feet and is bouncing around at the baseline, Anisimova. I did mention a long bathroom break that Haddad Maia took between the second and third sets of her opening round. Actually, the only previous match where she had dropped a set so far this tournament, that first round clash with world number 51 Sonic Cartel, and she's already been off the court for some time, but we summon her. Here she comes back out through the tunnel past the plaque on the wall that reads "Pressure is a privilege." Does she feel that way right now? That is a first set that has blitzed her by in under half an hour. The bag on her right shoulder and a bottle of water in her right hand as she heads back to the chair. third time lucky. Gil, are you with us?
I am here.
Oh, here he is. Gil, how cold are you courtside on Arthur Ashe Stadium? How do the conditions compare to previous night sessions?
Yeah, it's comfortable down here. It's a little bit chilly, but nothing crazy. I would say, look, I mean, the point you made earlier about this being a very different setting for Haddad Maia, considering the support she gets on the outer courts, that is a really excellent point, because there's a little bit of it, but she will not have that intimate support to lift her up tonight in this situation.
And that's something she's going to have to contend with as we begin the second set. On the Brazilian's racket, Anisimova having served out that opening set to love. And now standing up tight to the baseline to receive a second serve. Will history repeat itself? No, it won't. No double fault from Haddad Maia this time around. She puts forehand in the mid-court, the off forehand from Anisimova to get herself on top of the court. Back behind she goes, and that might be the first time we've heard the American tonight, the come on to accompany the fist clench. I wonder how she feels, Sophie, about being left waiting on the court between sets.
Well, I mean, I think it's, you know, it goes with the territory. You knew that Haddad Maia was going to take a break, even though it was 26 minutes. You have to try to reset and to slow down the game and look at you in the mirror and maybe, you know, give you a few slaps and say, come on, you know, try to get yourself going in this match.
Off forehand return is so well placed into the corner by Anisimova, almost too well placed. She staggers out of a forehand in the forecourt and glares accusingly at the mark in the court. Her return was so good that Haddad Maia could only slide it back into the most awkward position next to the net post.
Could she have gone maybe around the post? Because she kept being really pushed away, but there was really a lot of spin behind it. She couldn't do anything. The drop shot would have been the best one, but so difficult to deal with that backspin from Haddad Maia retrieval.
Yeah, virtually a defensive drop shot there from the number 18 seed, who clips the net cord as she goes out wide.
I don't think it was really mentally saying, oh, I'm going to drop shot on that. I think it's just got lucky that she made it, but, you know, good on her for the effort. She was rewarded. 15-all in the opening game of the second set. Haddad Maia goes deep into the body of Anisimova, the backhand even deeper into the American, who's staying lively on her feet and shakes the racket as the line ball goes wide from Haddad Maia. And now she's warring with herself a little, Haddad Maia, just fighting with the negative talk as she bounces the ball, grimaces. Just going too fast. Anisimova is just playing too fast for her. She can't get organized.
Holds this serving position for a moment on her right foot, and now she serves long of the box. And those serving numbers did not help her at all in the opening set, the Brazilian. She opted to serve. She opened with a double fault. The first serve percentage didn't get far past 50% ultimately in the set. Was always chasing on the scoreboard, so that there was that consistent feeling of suffocation, which is only emphasized as Anisimova takes the forehand off the court surface, return winner inside in. She has picked up exactly where she left off for 15-40.
Love that return down the line. It's just pristine, beautiful. It's right on the line for that one. And, you know, Haddad Maia still looking to try to hold. She has done nothing but that since the beginning of the match. 3 breaks of serves in the first set. And now on the verge of a fourth one.
The lefty from Brazil goes into the body, and Anisimova can only block that attempted return into the ground. It's a fierce fist pump to the backboards from Haddad Maia as she saves the first of the 2 break points.
Best serve of the match for Haddad Maia. I mean, completely handcuffed Anisimova.
So can she fend off the second break point in this most critical of games for the Brazilian? It's a backhand long of the baseline from Anisimova. And it's one of those, Sophie, where the opening set just flew by to the point where you feel if Haddad Maia can settle herself in this game, sees back the scoreboard, she can just completely close the door on what has gone before and just start a new match from this point in time.
I mean, that's exactly what she probably said to herself. I'm starting the match now. It felt like she was just not warmed up. She was not really in the match to start with at all.
Sweat
And
trickling down her face.
Physically, she was just not moving. Her racket head was not going fast enough to the pace of Anisimova. Second serve here, 40-all, opening game of the second set.
It goes into the body, forehand taken on quick to the body by Anisimova. It's a return that has worked for her time and time again because it just rushes the 29-year-old into the error. It comes again long of the court, and it's the third break point for Anisimova.
I mean, it's so evident. Every time that she's getting to hit a shot, she feels like she's rushed, completely rushed. Never in good position to hit, except for that one backhand that she hit down the line. That was the perfect shot. That was about it.
Low-key fist pump from Anisimova, whose eyes are chained to the ball, which goes wide and long of the tee. Demonstrative with the body language again as she creeps closer to the court. Haddad Maia knows that this second serve has to be good or it will get the treatment. Goes deep into the body. The off forehand, though, is just destruction from Anisimova. The off forehand winner means that she has won 7 successive games in this 4th round match, and it gets her to the set and a break advantage. If Gil is still with us, I want to know what the trajectory of Amanda Anisimova's ball looks like from court level on Arthur Ashe Stadium.
It's a frozen rope. It is low to the court. And I've noticed this watching Anisimova from this seat over the years. In fact, one of the best matches I've seen in this stadium was Pliskova-Anisimova, I want to say 2021. And I was just struck by actually both women on that occasion, just how quickly the ball was flying through the air and just how low the trajectory was. And, I mean, we knew coming in, right? Haddad Maia is going to have trouble hitting second serves to Anisimova's powerful return.
And that has taken shape throughout the 37 minutes spent on Arthur Ashe Stadium by these women so far tonight. We always talk about the second match of the night session, particularly if there's been a long match before, but there hasn't tonight. But there's all the time after the match to do media duties, to cool down, to take care of the body, to actually come down from the adrenaline of the occasion. Amanda Anisimova is playing like a woman who does not fancy a late night and is going to avoid one at all costs. Middle of the court with the forehand. Now she takes the initiative with the forehand angle, but the backhand is into the net, and Haddad Maia celebrates simply getting on the board in this game. 1-love and 15-all.
Yeah, you have to be, if you're Haddad Maia, you just got to stay positive, and you have to hope that, you know, the storm that she's going through right now is going to calm down and it's going to be just a light rain, because right now it's pretty much a hurricane.
She's in the middle of it. Anisimova out wide. The backhand wide into the tram lines from Haddad Maia, who gestures in frustration at her team, who are now on the same side of the court. Yeah, the positive talk that we've seen from her throughout the tournament is struggling to make an appearance right now, and understandably so. Slight eye roll from the number 18 seed as she stands incredibly deep to receive serve, gets a racket on the forehand but puts it into the net. And now there's this indecision on how she returns, Sophie. Does she play with a little bit more security and force Anisimova to win the point, or does she take more of a risk because the American is timing such a joke tonight? 1-love, 40-15, double game point for Anisimova. Does just miss the first serve.
I would try to attack the second serve. I mean, she's not winning points. Something's got to change.
So where does she put this? She does step up on top of the court, and the immediate result of the double fault just from that positioning. Or is that more just a blink from Anisimova?
Well, it could be both, but I think that Anisimova probably doesn't like to have somebody move forward. And, you know, I know that Haddad Maia likes to send the back and likes to hit the forehand topspin and backhand topspin, but a slice and come in could be really good, just to ask the question and change the rhythm of this match, because right now she's definitely outplayed.
A rare first serve missed once more by Anisimova off the back of her first double fault of the match. Finds the outer edge of the service box this time, has time on the off forehand and puts it into the net. And just wipes the sweat off her left cheek, Anisimova, as Haddad Maia is allowed to clamber to the sanctuary of deuce.
Well, we know that obviously with our game being so big, with so little margin over the net, Anisimova is going to be prone to make some mistakes. We've seen this in the first set. She was up 40-love, came back to 40-all, but still was able to hold her serve. Here again, up 40-15 now to deuce, just because of a few mistakes here and there.
Anisimova, who reached a career-high ranking of number 7 in July off the back of the Wimbledon final, controlling from on top of the baseline. Haddad Maia, though, managing to stay through the forehand, and the backhand is wide from Anisimova. So here we go, the opportunity for the Brazilian, who trails here by a set and a break, but it's very early stages of the second. She bounces up and down at the prospect of the break back here. Advantage to the number 18 seed. First break point of this set, the backhand into the feet of her opponent. The backhand staying through the middle, and into the net goes Anisimova. That reaction for the opponent of an American, that's how one way this clash has been tonight.
That's called a Bronx cheer.
Or Bronx, maybe Brazilian?
A combination, no doubt. I know we're in a different borough, we're in Queens, but I guess there's a reason why that's a saying. When somebody's losing so badly, they kind of get the home crowd on their side.
Might they live to regret that? 41 minutes required for Haddad Maia to finally get on the board in this fourth round match, but it does place her level at 1-1 in the second set. How does Anisimova respond? She takes on the forehand, the off forehand into the corner. She's on top of the court, controlling. Backhand down the line, played with margin. Haddad Maia offers the extra ball. Forehand back behind is good. And the scream accompanies it from Anisimova as she gets to love 15.
She's unstoppable when she's inside the baseline and distributing blows after blows to Haddad Maia, who were able to, well, she was able to bring back 3, but the fourth one was just too much. That was the 13th winner of the match for Anisimova, for only 2 on the other side. And they were only in the first set for Haddad Maia.
So the world number 22 is back under the pump for a moment, but Anisimova gestures in frustration. She went big on the return, backhand down the line long. 15 all, and already there's a little bit of a different feeling about Anisimova, slightly more agitated. The 24-year-olds. American number 4, but the second highest ranked American left standing in New York. Jessica Pegula, last year's runner-up, will feature in the quarterfinals. Anisimova with the pumping of the fists as she gets back down into the ready position. Haddad Maia, middle of the box with the second serve, manages to find her backhand on the baseline. The forehand on the stretch, though, will go into the net, and Anisimova looking to control from the center of the baseline once again. 1-1 on 15-30.
Not really anything that Haddad Maia is doing is really hurting Anisimova. It's all going to be about Anisimova's consistency to keep going and doing what she's doing right now, and she's done for 7 games in a row prior to losing that last game.
Haddad Maia goes into the body with the serve, inside in with the return from Anisimova, who backs off and then takes the forehand cross-court, backhand cross-court from Haddad Maia, who's on the stretch and takes the backhand up the line, backhand through the middle from Anisimova. Greater weight of shot, lifts the forehand long to Haddad Maia. And a couple of break points. And Sophie, I really would have loved to see the serve and volley there from Haddad Maia. It was something she used effectively a couple of times in the first set, but only when she was already down on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I would love to see it too, because she was also, you know, on the ad side, which is where the lefty slice is definitely more opportunistic and you know, makes sense. And she would have had maybe an open volley like she did in the first set.
Can she compete with courage here? Haddad Maia into the body of Anisimova, takes the off forehand into the forehand of Anisimova, who plays with decent length. Off forehand again to get the space from Haddad Maia, and the backhand deep into the forehand of Anisimova, who stays with it. Cuts the top of the net cord, does Haddad Maia, and Anisimova goes long. Her timing just tampered with. And it's just the 1 break point now for the American.
You might get your wish here at 30-40. She might maybe attempt the serve and volley.
Does she back herself in a moment of jeopardy? Haddad Maia, 1 of 1 at the net in that opening set. Clean. Goes out wide, but not enough curve on it to approach. Doesn't matter, though. Anisimova, backhand middle of the net. Now, that was an opportunity gone begging for the number 8 seed.
And Gail, did you see Anisimova's, did she kind of misstep there? Looked like she was moving her foot up after this backhand.
Let Abigail call the point, and I'll answer.
Okay.
Serve tee from Haddad Maia, the off forehand into the forehand of Anisimova. The backhand middle clips the net cord from Haddad Maia. Forehand back behind from Anisimova into the net. Haddad Maia languishing behind the baseline. Break point number 3 for Anisimova.
Yeah, she looked all right moving that point, so I think she just sort of got her balance off. The feet positioning was a little bit off kilter there.
Yeah, I kind of saw that.
Deep breaths for the Brazilian. Adjusts the white visor, gives herself a couple of little nods. Heave of the shoulders as she lets out a breath. Anisimova swaying side to side, biting her lower lip, staying a fraction behind the baseline as Haddad Maia serves into the body. Backhand taken on quickly by Anisimova. She's on top of the baseline. Oh, forehand winner. And she beckons to the crowd, says, get back on my side. I need you now. Regains her advantage. 6-love the opener and 2-1 and serving in the second for Wimbledon finalist Amanda Anisimova. You are listening to US Open Radio, presented by American Express. You're listening to US Open Radio, presented by American Express. And all things considered, Amanda Anisimova's 4th-round debut at the US Open is going rather well. 6-love in the opening set against a woman who's beaten her before, Beatriz Haddad Maia of Brazil. And having been pegged back from her early break advantage in the second set, she has regained it for 2-1. Serving now from the right-hand side of the chair umpire. She takes a flat backhand through the court, cross court. On top of the ball, though, as Haddad Maia, so she gets a deep forehand to challenge. Forehand wide from Anisimova. First point to Haddad Maia, who just courtesy of that early break back, Sophie, she might not have backed it up, but there is more belief about the 29-year-old now. Dug her heels in. 49 minutes played, and Anisimova still to move 2 games clear in the second set. Might not happen yet. Forehand long behind the serve, and the battle is back on at love 30.
I just get the sense that Haddad Maia right now would rather be returning. I mean, the serve, she's had no time on the +1, so this is almost nicer for her.
I agree, especially without being able to hold once in this match yet.
As Anisimova serves into the body, handcuffs Haddad Maia for 15-30. Gil, does that surprise you when Haddad Maia's serving numbers were actually so good against Maria Sakkari? She won 69%. She saved all 4 of the break points that she faced. Would you have expected such a contrast coming in to face Anisimova?
I'm surprised the first serve has been basically bullied by Anisimova, but the second serve coming in, that would have been a huge concern for me because it's such an off-speed second serve, and Anisimova has the goods off of both wings to take advantage of that.
And she's proven that thus far. The number 8 seed, current world number 9, Anisimova, facing the little deficit here on serve, 2-1, 15-30. Another attempt at the first serve. Now it's a second to come from the American. Initial delivery clips off the net tape and long. Abrupt bouncing of the ball. The toss up The serve in at the forehand, taken on the rise by Haddad Maia. The forehand looped deep by Anisimova. The backhand through the middle of the court. Forehand through the middle from Haddad Maia, who's timing better from the baseline and staying a touch closer to it. Anisimova with the off backhand, ambitious, wide. And it's double break back point for the number 18 seed.
And all of a sudden, you have Haddad Maia, who is starting to put a lot more balls back in the court and pushing Anisimova to take more risks, eventually making the errors.
Doesn't want a deja vu. She lost in straight sets on this court to Karolina Mukova when she made the last 8 last season. Haddad Maia ace down the tee from Anisimova to fend off one of the breakback points, but still work to do at 2-1, 30-40 in this second set. The winner of this final match of the night session will complete the women's quarter-final lineup. Anisimova serves out wide to the forehand of Haddad Maia, takes the forehand on the ascent, cross-court angle winner, and that is both break points saved by Anisimova.
In fashion. Again, the power, the first serve was so good, opening the whole court. The white serve pushing Haddad Maia completely off the court.
So deuce. And the serve tee from Anisimova. The off forehand with quite the angle from Haddad Maia, responded by Anisimova in kind, and the Brazilian goes long. They drilled holes through the sidelines in that short exchange.
Wow. Amazing. Once again, it's the serve that makes the difference. That return was exceptional, but so was the reach-out forehand cross-court on the run from Anisimova. Spectacular.
Great use of her levers as she serves out wide to the forehand. Haddad Maia finds the angle cross-court, and Anisimova can't find the backhand. She plays with the idea of slamming the racket into the floor. Felt like a forced move by the sheer angle on the return from the Brazilian.
Yeah.
So where next for Amanda Anisimova, taken to deuce for a second time. Bounces the ball, and now serves down the tee. Forehand taken on the ascent by Haddad Maia, who's just reading the serve a little better, but she'll be disappointed. Off forehand wide. Now she swings the racket in frustration, glares at the mark on the court where the ball left the surface. Advantage Anisimova, who serves into the body and handcuffs Haddad Maia. That is well survived by Amanda Anisimova, and that is a first hold of this second set. The result is 6-love, 3-1 in the favor of the Wimbledon finalist. Huge moments, Sophie.
Well, I mean, I think that's obviously holding here when she's getting tight, a little bit tighter, and Haddad Maia playing just a little bit better, asking more questions, bringing more balls back. I think this game was very important to make the statement and be ahead. 1-3, Haddad Maia serving, yet to hold serve in this match.
54 minutes played. Haddad Maia causing more of a wrestling match in this second set, but now back under the pump and forced to come through with a second serve, which Anisimova has been consistently stepping up the court for. This time, though, the forehand won't find the mark. Wide into the tram lines as she targets the line. So the first step up for the former Roland Garros semi-finalist. Haddad Maia with a lot of Brazilian eyes on her over the last few years. Serves out wide to the backhand of Anisimova. Opens up the space for the forehand down the line. That is shaped nicely by Haddad Maia to build the 30-love lead here.
And the first winner of the set here after 4 games. She's finally has 1 winner of the forehand. Total of 3 winners for the match. It's not much comparing to 17 across the net. But normal. This is the type of game that Haddad Maia has. She's more of a retriever and somebody who's going to grind to win points more on unforced errors than winners.
Second serve is asked of her once more. It goes middle of the box, and the backhand is taken to the body by Anisimova without the length she would have liked, and too long on the follow-up backhand. So the breathing room of triple game point for Haddad Maia. A few stats on that run to the semi-finals of Roland Garros in 2023. It was her first Grand Slam, third round, fourth round, quarterfinal, and semi-final. And it made her the first Brazilian to reach a Grand Slam quarterfinal since Maria Bueno in 1968. So that was the length of the wait for the Brazilians. There was eyes on her, pressure on her. She handled it, and she's handled this game. Rifles through a cross-court forehand behind an accurate serve. And that's the most convincing hold for Haddad Maia of them. In fact, it is the first hold of the match so far for Haddad Maia, and it comes in stunning fashion. To love, is that enough to throw the focus of Amanda Anisimova, who has been not allowed to sail through the second set, but still holds it in her grasp at 3-2 with the break?
Well, I think it's a big start for Haddad Maia, and they're just making a statement. I'm still here, and I'm still going to fight till the end. You're going to have to play that kind of tennis that you played in the first set to beat me, because I am a grinder. I am I'm willing to go through the process, and I am never going to give up. So, and she knows that. Anisimova knows that. Everybody knows that when you play against Haddad Maia. It's never over till it's over.
Yeah, and that's why it was striking at the end of the first set to see Haddad Maia get so negative in her body language, because I would list among the things she does extraordinarily well. I'd put staying positive as one of them.
Agreed.
She tends to fist pump in between points and really kind of motivate herself with positive self-talk. Her team is very vocal and supportive. So Haddad Maia is not the kind of player to sulk.
Totally agree with that.
Do you think the run that she's had today and how she's really steadied over the last couple of rounds actually plays into that, the frustration of going to a different stage, different conditions, and not being able to come through when she feels like she's actually built her way into the tournament so far?
Yeah, I think so. And how about the experience of just dealing with the adversity of coming into this tournament on a losing streak and then creating a run? So she kind of, in her head, she should be aware that things can turn around.
So what happens next? Amanda Anisimova with Haddad Maia on her heels, but with the break of serve in set 2, serving from the left-hand side of the chair umpire, misses the first serve out wide. We are 2 minutes off the hour mark of this second clash of the night session. Victory already for Jannik Sinner over Alexander Bublick, the Kazakh who had won their most recent meeting. And he did that in comprehensive straight sets. Cross-court backhand return from Haddad Maia. Forehand on the baseline from Anisimova, and that'll get her up and running. 15 love. Plum on the paints from the current world number 9. 2 spots off the career high ranking that the Wimbledon final achieved for her. 3-set victory over world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in that semi-final on the grass courts for Anisimova. Second serve to come here. Haddad Maia stands legs astride for it, just behind the baseline. Takes the backhand on the ascent. Now gets around for the off forehand into the forehand of Anisimova, who is stretched into the net. And we're hearing the Brazilian more regularly and seeing her presence the same way on the scoreboard. 15-all.
Now, this is a much tighter set, without a doubt. I mean, obviously, losing 6 love can't be that tight. But she's trying to really change the philosophy and the dynamic of this match. The Brazilian doing a really good job at it.
Anisimova missing the tee serve and just rolling her head in dissatisfaction in the wake of that. Gray visor dips low as she watches the bouncing ball. Then she serves into the forehand of Haddad Maia, which lifts and loops long, and the sag of the shoulders is understandable. Did not force the number 8 seed to play as pressure was building. 3-2, 30-15.
She has to be able to return those kind of serves. This is just not hard enough as a serve to give away a free point. 90 miles per hour should be able to return that.
Anisimova with the serve into the body on top of the court. She takes a backhand down the line, and it was played with margin, but it was played perfectly, cutting through the court from Anisimova for the double game point.
Well, finally returned. Sorry, Gail, but that was just too short.
breathing room. 3-2, 40-15. Ace down the tee from Anisimova. Her third of the match, her second of the set. And night has long fallen in New York City, but that puts daylight between herself and Beatriz Haddad Maia. 6-love, 4-2.
I was just going to say, when you give a short ball to Anisimova's backhand and she has it waist high and she's able to go down the line, she might be better than anybody else in the world at crushing winners from that position.
Yeah, she's shown off her ability to do that throughout the hour and 1 minute spent on court so far, but she's got to keep producing to the finish line. She just puts her hand to her face for a moment as the wild backhand return goes wide of the court. And Haddad Maia starts solidly on serve, 2-4, 15-love. And now a second serve required from the 29-year-old. First attempt down into the nets. Looking to turn a corner in this match. Out wide to the backhand of Anisimova, but a bit short in the court. Puts pressure on the forehand up the line, which is wide from Haddad Maia. So Anisimova on the board on the return here.
Well, they both really been struggling on the second serve. 2 out of 7.1 on the second serve for Haddad Maia in this set. 2 out of 6 for Anisimova. So there's definitely an Achilles heel for both players.
Love 6, 2-4, 15 all. Haddad Maia serves long of the body. Gil, after this point, I'd be interested to know if you feel that the communication with the coach has increased at all from Anisimova. She just seems to be looking over there a little more regularly as Haddad Maia serves into the tee, the backhand into the body from Anisimova, who takes the steps to get across the forehand cross-court. She's on balance with the forehand down the line. Haddad Maia defending, responding, short forehand, gets in the court. Forehand with a little more length into the backhand of Anisimova. Forehand taken on the ascent to turn things around from Haddad Maia. Now she's dictating, and now Anisimova is stretched out, and the backhand does find the baseline, though, from the American. The backhand down the line from her as she gets onto the front foot. The backhand slice into the mid-court, cross-court back behind from Haddad Maia. Even better from Anisimova with the backhand angle.
You've got to be kidding. Oh my goodness. How do you hit a cross-court short backhand winner from being so far behind the baseline? That is absolutely amazing from the racket of Anisimova. Ridiculous.
Sensational strike for love 6, 2-4, and 15-30 on the shoulders of Haddad Maia, and a little bit of a triumphant smile to the coaching corner from Anisimova. We might touch back on that, Gil, at the change of ends as Haddad Maia goes out wide to the backhand into the net, though, from Anisimova.
That was a 20-shot rally, by the way. That last point before this return was dumped in the middle of the net.
You think that was a bit of a hangover just from the
maybe
exertions?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of tiredness, and good on that Haddad Maia to put a first serve in when you're very tired, to push on those legs.
Still in danger here, though. 2-4, 30 all. Second serve. First attempt goes long to the body. Anisimova with the clenched fist of the left hand. Sways side to side. On the ascent, on the return, the backhand driven into the backhand of Haddad Maia, which is wide. Critical moments on Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Again, so late to get to that return. Just couldn't get a racket head through. Hit it late behind her, and that landed into the doubles alley on the other side.
Already down a set. Haddad Maia, 2-4, 30-40. The strong prospect of an imminent double break. The number 18 seeds with the lefty serve out wide, blocked back by Anisimova, down to her haunches to drive the backhand as Haddad Maia, and Anisimova goes into the net. So just rushed there, the American, and a long blowout of breath from Haddad Maia just shows the tension that was lurking as she executed there.
And that first serve was key, no doubt, in this point.
Haddad Maia in the pink skirt and trainers. The white top takes the forehand up the middle of the court, barely catches the baseline. Anisimova building to the body once more. Now with the angle, the backhand into the forehand of her opponent. It goes long from Haddad Maia, and she is warming up with that two-handed angle. Anisimova gets her another break point.
I mean, that backhand is getting better and better by the minute. Not only down the line, we've seen that earlier, but the cross court is just so good.
And that high heavy ball, Haddad Maia trying to add a little height and spin on that last forehand, it's just not working against Anisimova, who's tall and really good from high contact points.
Been using that stature as Haddad Maia goes tee to the forehand long with the return from Anisimova. So back to deuce we go.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy once again about that return. You got to make sure you make your opponent play when you have somewhere where you can make contact, especially on the return. You're not pushed.
Can she wrestle through this game, Haddad Maia, and start to turn the tide? The forehand taken on the ascent without the power, though, of Anisimova. She's playing precision tennis here, the Brazilian. She puts the backhand middle of the court, more drive through from Anisimova, who on the stretch will go for it down the line, doesn't finish the job. Cross-court winner from Haddad Maia. And you just get the feeling if she can push through this service hold, it can switch the momentum of this second set. Anisimova has been inches from the set and a double break advantage. But a hold here would limit the lead to a single game.
Yeah, the match is much, much closer, and it's putting a lot more pressure now on the strokes of Anisimova, who might be going for a little bit more and start making some unforced errors.
The Brazilian serves out wide, covered by Anisimova, but she finds the baseline. Haddad Maia can only stare at the mark on the paints. I think she was ready to head to the sit-down with that return long, but it was off the back of the line from Anisimova, as the big screens show us on Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Almost tempted to go to the forehand on the deuce on the ad side now. That backhand is so lethal.
The 29-year-old from Brazil serves into the body and the return into the net from Anisimova, whose head tips back slightly. The most high-stakes game of the clash thus far. Haddad Maia fought back and forth from deuce in the fifth game of the opening set. Lost that game in the set quickly afterwards, but 3 deuces played in this one, and she could still minimize the deficit as Anisimova goes backhand deep into the body of the Brazilian. The forehand cross-court into the two-hander of the 29-year-old. Down the line into the net from Anisimova, who puts heel of her hand to her racket strings and fires a few words in the direction of her corner. Haddad Maia taking on input as if she's planning on staying around on Arthur Ashe Stadium for another hour or so. She will have to if she's to turn this match around, and having come through the hold with break points saved, that is still a distinct possibility. 6-love, 4-3 in the favor of Anisimova. And Gil, I am going to come back to you then on what I mentioned partway through the previous game as to whether the feeling has changed on Anisimova's side of the net. What is the interaction with her box like, and have you been able to pick up any of that?
Yeah, there's no doubt that things have changed. She actually, I take it the cameras were focused on Haddad Maia, but as she walked to her bench for this changeover, she was kind of mocking herself on the forehand, whether it be the balance or the racket face kind of getting too closed on her. She has not always been happy throughout this second set, despite being up the break 4-3. But, you know, it kind of depends on how you interpret that. I will say on the glass half full, I guess, approach on that, she's been locked in every point. She's expecting a lot out of herself, point in and point out. She hasn't been disengaged. She's never kind of allowed herself to go through the motions. So part of me has actually liked the fact, and I felt like this was always a signature of Serena Williams, and I think sometimes we see it with Iga Swiatek as well. It doesn't matter what your lead is. You expect yourself to perform to the best of your abilities every single point.
It's a very good point right there, and that's the trait of champions, no doubt.
Could it hurt her, though, Sophie, in this next game, Anisimova, when she's been so close to the finish line? She could be stood here at 6-love, 5-2 and serving for the match.
Listen, this is tennis. This is when it counts the most when it gets really close in the match. Let's see how she's handling it and how Haddad Maia is going to try to go after her.
And almost 20 past 10 local time.
That's
it's an ace down the tee from Anisimova. That is only her 4th of the match, but her 3rd of the set.
Yep.
And the ideal way to get this game, where Haddad Maia has real hope, up and running. 4-3, 15-love An hour and 10 minutes played as Anisimova finds the tee once again. Back-to-back aces. That silences a few doubts. Barely gives anything away. She just looks up fractionally, Anisimova, as if cueing the crowd to silence so that she can get back to business. Catches the toss on this occasion. It was falling to her left. Brown plait down her back as she serves out wide, and it's a miscued backhand from Haddad Maia. You can totally understand the slump of the shoulders from the number 18 seed after all the work she put in to hold. She's already down 40 love. Slightly unexpected at the beginning of this game. But Anisimova continues the class of the match thus far.
Big groan from the crowd. They wanted an ace.
It was close, wasn't it, to the tee? Second serve. Will she go big on it, Anisimova? Into the body, backhand deep from Haddad Maia. Backhand brilliant from Anisimova. She has just played the perfect service game at the crunch moment of the match. It takes her one game away from a first US Open quarterfinal.
But at this point, would you avoid to play the backhand of Anisimova at all costs right now? Because that is the shot that has been making the night for Anisimova, especially in the last two games. You got to go to the forehand of Anisimova. You can't keep giving her backhands.
But was she thinking about that, or was she thinking about trying to get the ball in the court and actually play a point at that stage?
I think you've got to think about that if you're Haddad Maia. Don't give her that many backhands. She's too hot on that side.
She has
Here we go again.
Rushed tonight, the Brazilian, and shanks a backhand into the mid-court, the forehand cross-court from Anisimova, who would love to break through for the match and avoid the hassle of going through another service game. Forehand just clips the net cord and forces Haddad Maia into the net. The ball just trickling into play. Anisimova 3 points away at love 15.
She's giving her too many backhands in my view in this match, and especially right now. She can hit that backhand pretty much with blindfold, Anisimova, and the crosscourt backhand being the one that she is so on top of it.
Is Beatriz Haddad Maia frazzled? Made it to the last 8 stage here in New York 12 months ago, but she is on the brink of missing out this time around. Forehand into the net. She served out wide to the Anisimova backhand.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't understand. Gil, do you understand that?
She's lefty. That's my only answer.
I know, but that's, come on, she can't hit the
agree.
tee.
Sophie, I totally agree with you.
If she can't hit the tee at that level, then there's a problem.
There was almost a sarcastic smile to herself from Haddad Maia as she picked up the towel, and now she's forcing the skip back to the baseline, trying to stay upbeat in the face of a scoreline that is swinging away from her. Love 6, 3-5, love 30 into the body of Anisimova, who rifles a backhand to the feet, and now a backhand up the line is a clean winner. Of course it is. It's her bread and butter, and it's taken her to triple match point.
Well, she's enjoying that bread and butter, and I know somebody who is not, but she deserves to not really win this match when you look at it. At least go to the body of Anisimova, go down the middle on the serve, at the body serve, if you don't want to be attacked with that backhand that has been lethal tonight.
Under the Arthur Ashe Stadium lights, Amanda Anisimova has match points to choose from. Haddad Maia with the serve. Pierces the T-junction, and Anisimova just indicates as if to say, really? That pierced the paint? Yes, it did, say the screens. So she'll move on to match point number 2. She does have a couple more opportunities here.
She finally did go to the tee and the forehand. So, see, Gil, she can hit it there.
She can. She proved you right.
An hour and 14 minutes played. Match point number 2 for the number 8 seed. Haddad Maia serves out wide. The forehand picked up wide from Anisimova.
It might be a bit too late
across the court.
No offense, but there's that proverb: never, it's never too late. Better late than never.
She actually seems to be taking just a fraction more time before these serves, Haddad Maia, and maybe that's a little bit more thought time as well. Bouncing the ball ahead of match point number 3. The lefty into the body. The forehand picked up to the feet by Anisimova. Leans out of the forehand does Haddad Maia. Rifles through her own does Anisimova. She's got a short ball on top of the court. The forehand into the open space. And on her debut in the US Open 4th round, Amanda Anisimova is smiling her way into the quarterfinals. A breathtaking performance under the lights on Arthur Ashe Stadium. A long handshake with Beatriz Haddad Maia, who was plunged down early here and has to acknowledge the quality of the Wimbledon finalist, who is beaming now. Business-like throughout much of the encounter, fraying at the edges at moments in the second set, but her striking did the talking at the conclusion, and it is just the 3 games dropped as Amanda Anisimova completes the quarterfinal lineup at this year's US Open.
She should be proud of herself, and especially on the column of winners versus unforced errors. Anisimova, 27 winners for 14 unforced. That is a plus 13 differential. And that is so positive for someone who takes so many risks, who hits the ball so big, very low over the net, with not much topspin and clearance, and she's able to really outperform and completely destroy Haddad Maia.
Who's leaving the court pretty quickly here.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, she was a little overawed, it felt, at the beginning of the match by the occasion, by the change in setting, a night match for her as well. And maybe there are moments of that match that she would like to take again and just compose herself in a different way. But this is where it gets tough. The stakes rise, the opposition grows in caliber, and Anisimova proved exactly why she's currently a top 10 player in the world. We're gonna hear from her now.
Congratulations. There was so much to like about the way you played tonight. What impressed you most about your performance?
Yeah, it was so great to be back on this court. It's been a few years since I've played here, and it's an incredible atmosphere. So, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I wish there was a little bit more love, but hopefully I won some Brazilian fans today.
I think there was a lot of love, and we saw you giving some self-love to yourself, some positive self-talk, some passion. How would you describe your mindset in this match in particular?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the round of 16, and there's going to be nerves, and especially against Bia, who is such a tough opponent. I knew I had to stay really mentally strong, and I feel like once I came out here, I love playing on big stages, so I feel like my game is just, I play so freely out here. So yeah, I was just really enjoying it, and I'm really happy I was able to put on a good performance today.
You advance to the quarterfinals where you'll take on Iga Swiatek. It'll be a rematch from the Wimbledon final. What are your expectations for that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that we would be meeting again so soon? But yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be a great match, I hope, this time. But no, I mean, I'm feeling good, and yeah, she's playing some great tennis, so I really hope that, you know, we'll put on a great performance.
Fantastic match tonight. Congratulations. Best of luck moving forward. Amanda Anisimova.
Well, when she took on Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon, she'd never had exposure to that matchup before. It was a huge scenario in which to take on Swiatek for the first time, a maiden Grand Slam final as well. Gil, you've been sat courtside on Arthur Ashe Stadium. After watching that performance, do you have hopes of Anisimova's ability to replicate against Swiatek?
Well, to an extent. Obviously, she's not going to beat Iga 6-love, 6-3, and I'm so glad I said that on the radio so it can be replayed when it happens in a couple of days. But I think this was such a nerve settler for Anisimova. I think it's a great thing for her that she was scheduled on Ashe, not Armstrong, so she could get into this building. It had been a while for her, and it's the first time as a major finalist, as Abigail pointed out at the very top of the show. And for her to come out on this stage under the lights and play as well as she did, I think will have her feeling a lot more comfortable when it's time to face off against Iga in a couple of days.
Sophie, she's the second highest ranked American remaining in the lineup now herself, and Jessica Pegula flying that star-spangled banner in the last 8 lineup. How do you see her handling that aspect of moving into the next round?
I think revenge could be very, very sweet for her if she was able to put together the kind of performance that she did tonight. I think when you lost, you know, she's going to remember that loss 0-0. She probably put it away now, but she's going to remember that. And one thing is she cannot do any worse. So here you go. Go out there. Try to have fun. I love the mentality she had today. I love the way she played the backhand cross court. Was impeccable. I think that Iga is going to probably play the forehand a little bit more and the body as well. Tactically, I don't think Haddad Maia had really any game tonight to bother Anisimova.
So that is one to circle for the quarterfinals. Amanda Anisimova to take on Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek in a rematch of the Ultimate Showdown at this year's championships. So lineups complete for the quarterfinals at the US Open in both the men's and women's draws. We have greatly enjoyed taking you through the action. Tonight it's been Gil Gross, Abigail Johnson and Sophie Amiak alongside me. Thank you for joining us. Coverage begins once again at 10:30 local time tomorrow. We hope you can join us and enjoy your time up to then. See you soon. The lefty into the body, the forehand picked up to the feet by Anisimova, leans out of the forehand as Haddad Maia rifles through her own. Does Anisimova, she's got a short ball on top of the court, the forehand into the open space. And on her debut in the US Open, fourth round, Amanda Anisimova is smiling her way into the quarterfinals. A breathtaking performance under the lights on Arthur Ashe Stadium.
You're listening to US Open Radio, presented by American Express. Coverage will continue when play resumes. Make sure to tune in for the next chapter of Spectacular.